This call is now taking notes. This call is now being recorded.
Okay. So, a very warm good evening to all the participants and experts. Uh, I shall introduce myself first. I am Ms. Babita Sharma. I am working as an assistant professor, TAP, at the Faculty of Journalism and Communication, T. Maharaja Sajira University of Baroda, Vadodara, Gujarat. And I welcome you to the day 5 and culminating session of the workshop, AI in Research, Redefining Methodology, Empowering Analysis, jointly organized by the Writers Reservoir and the Communication Team. Our expert and resource person for the workshop, as we all know, and have been conversing with and
पंकज
listening
बता रहा
to,
था
is
पंकज की
Dr.
बात भी आया
Manvinder
था कि
Singh
मुझे
Pahwa.
सारी कटिंग्स दे दो वो दे दो। पंकज बोला कि जी ऐसा है हमारा काम तो
Uh,
अ,
so please mute yourself.
ये है कि हमने
Yeah, Mr. Sudit, please mute yourself. Your conversation is disturbing everyone. Yes, ma'am, please continue.
So we have our expert and resource person. We all know we have been listening to him, learning so much from so many days. Dr. Manvinder Singh Pahwa, who has immense experience in the field of teaching and research. And also, we are waiting for Professor Sanjeev Bhanawat. He will shortly be joining us. And we all know that, a visionary he is in the field of media education. So in yesterday's session, we got to know about how AI enhance the understanding of data, its distribution, identifying and modeling uncertainties, and ensuring, robust sampling that is dependable. AI-powered models can also be used to formalize, refine, and even automatically test research hypotheses. And we also learn through live examples. In today's session, we are going to learn about various tests that we can perform with the help of AI-powered tools. So, without a further ado, I hand over the session to Dr. Manvinder. So, please take over.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Uh, I hope the presentation is also visible to everyone.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay, so today we will be learning about some of the tests, as I told you yesterday, that we will be learning about uh, this. First of all, we will start with the group differences, right? And then we will slowly go to the regression analysis also. So this is what is the agenda of the day today. And before we start, let us ask, because this is the last day also. So up till now, if you have any question, anything you want to ask, or if you might have written something to just ask to me in the session itself. So let us start with that. Meanwhile, Bhanawat sir will also join. So let's start with that. But let us be and let us do it in a very brief manner. Yeah. So come on, who is if somebody is having the problem, if you want to raise your hand, please do that so that we can take a couple of you can say problems for the time being. Anyone? Yeah. Anything you want to ask me, or should I just directly start the session? Up till now, if you have any problem or anything you have encountered, okay, let me just start the session then. So now we will be doing something which is related to the group differences, analyzing the group differences and testing the differences, right? So we are actually using this ChatGPT for data analysis purpose. So first, let me tell you briefly what are the group differences and where exactly do you need to use the group differences for the statistical analysis. So group differences, or and if anyone is having any idea, please you can share with me if you have, you know something about these things, group differences or something like that. Yes, participants are still joining. You can see, but yeah, any hand raised? Nothing. Okay, so group differences, as the name itself is suggesting, it is basically the statistical analysis of the difference among the between the two groups. Okay, it can be two groups or it can be more than two groups also. For instance, you can consider a scenario. I'm just telling you that a scenario may comprise of a executive in an office who is organizing a training program, and she would like to know whether this particular training program is really effective or not. And by being really effective, she means that whether there would be a significant improvement in the skills of those people or the participants who are actually going to attend that program or who have attended that program. Okay, and the emergency, as specific number of people, maybe 30, 40, or 50 employees in any of the office, right? In any of the cases. So in a different scenario, consider another thing. For example, a researcher uh, who is to figure out what happens to the stress level across the lifespan, right? And for that, he collects data from three groups of people. Number one, the college going students who are young. Second are the working professionals who are in the mid age, or you can say mid age group, and the mature people, and they are and the mature people, that is the retired professionals. So there are three groups. Now I want to understand that would there be a significant difference in the stress level of these three groups or not? Okay. Or the easiest or the most relatable example could be taking an example of a professor, because we all are in teaching profession, right? So a professor who wants to teach different methods and figure out which teaching method would be the most effective with the students. It could be a lecture method, it could be teaching via presentation, it could be teaching through the simple blackboard method. So you can look at, in all these cases, your samples are coming in the form of the groups actually. Right? And it appears that one group has gone through a different kind of experience as compared to the another. And you wish to figure out which experience has more bearing repercussion on the outcome that you are making. May it be stress level, may it be effectiveness of the training method, may it be anything. So what exactly you get from this is that in case of the group differences, your group seems to be a sort of independent groups or independent variables. You may call this you may call these things, these particular groups, as those which do not have anything in common in it. And the outcome variable is, of course, the outcome variable or the dependent variable. So, for instance, if you are a psychotherapist and if you are treating patients, you would like to know, okay, which of these uh, therapeutic techniques are the best suitable for my patients, right? Whether giving them general counseling is good, or whether giving them, say, psychodynamic psychotherapy is good, or maybe a behavioral therapy or a different kind of alternate therapy might be better. And you want to give the most effective therapy uh, to the to the patients or to the participants or to the respondents, so that they experience best in the minimum possible time, so that you can analyze the things that which is better. Okay, so analysis of the group differences actually, these actually come very handy in these kinds of scenarios, because you can collect data from the small sample of the individuals who have actually gone through different groups, and they have experienced a different scenario, and then you can calculate whether these groups are significantly different from each other or not. Okay. For instance, suppose you want to make a statement about a pay differential between the males and the females. Let us assume. Okay. or pay differential between the young and the old people in the industry. So how exactly you accomplish that? Okay. Of course, you can tell that on an average, males are earning as much as the females. But the question is that is this difference present in the present population is significantly different or not? Okay, we talked about the p-value yesterday. So this is very, very important, that something which is statistically significant, or to what extent it is reliable. Okay, so for that you would require what we call is a test over here, which we call it as a, what test we will apply over here? Anyone? In order to see the differences in the groups, what test we apply?
Sir,
Come on.
T-test, ANOVA test.
Very good, Madhumita. T-test and ANOVA. And there are various types of T-test also. Paired sample T-test are there, independent sample T-test are there. And they can give more power to the statement, and you can present your findings backed by your research and the data. Okay. So in the coming session, we look at a certain test of the group differences, which are quite popular. Just now, Madhumita has told us about the T-test and the ANOVA, and how they can actually help you in analyzing the group differences using ChatGPT. We will be trying to understand that. Okay. So let me just ask you one more thing, that what is the difference between a T-test and the ANOVA? Anyone?
Sir, T-test is where we can compare the two groups, and in ANOVA test we can compare more than two groups, three,
Okay,
four.
but what is actually compared over here? Means,
Compared mean.
yeah. In case of T-test, we compare means, and in ANOVA also we compare means.
Sir, I don't have much knowledge, but I think means, sir, because in T-test and ANOVA test, the statistics and the formulas are more or less same. It is the extension of T-test, the ANOVA test
Yeah,
is.
yeah, you are very correct. It's an extension of T-test. But do you know the full form of ANOVA? Okay, not Madhumita,
Analysis
anyone
of variance, sir, variance.
Okay, okay. So when you are analyzing variances, so do you think we are taking means as such?
No, sir, I think no, yes.
No or yes?
No, sir, no, because there is no relation in between variance and mean, I think.
There is a relation. Yesterday I told you about that. The standard deviation is there, which is a deviation from the mean. Huh?
Square
Remember
root
that?
of
Yeah, square root of variance is the standard deviation. But variance is how we are calculating variances. Yesterday I showed you. Actually, it was in hurry. You might have got my PPTs also. Variation is the difference from the mean. How much far is your uh, uh, the scatter of the entire group, particularly from the mean itself. It is there. So there is a relation, right? So, anyways, but you have answered very well, Madhumita ji. Yeah, anyone else would like to share something over here regarding T-test and ANOVA? Okay, anyways. So, we are talking about the group differences, if you see
Sir,
over here. Yeah,
Girish sir has raised his
yeah.
hand. He
Oh, yeah,
wants-
please, please. Yeah, Girish ji, please, please. Yes, Girish. Yes, Girish, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. Sir, there may be one difference when we use the t-test. So there may be two groups, and if we are using analysis of variance, so there may be more than two, like three or.
Yeah, that's what Madhumita has already told. That there is a, when we are having T is for two, and when we are having more than two, or when we are analyzing maybe three or more, then we have to go for the ANOVA, analysis of variance, and there we are seeing the how the things are varying, means the variation we are studying from one group to other. Okay, variation in the means from one group to other when it is studied in multiple ways, then we say it is an analysis of variances we are doing. Okay, that's why it is called ANOVA. So one question you have to deal before proceeding with the analysis of group difference or any statistical test is which statistical test should be applied in a given scenario. Okay, so let's clear about this thing about the group differences test, so that all the group differences can be categorized into two parts, right? As it is given over here. Okay. Uh, uh, and that can be done depending upon the number of the groups you choose for analysis, right? When you decide about the number of the groups to be included in your research or analysis, there could be two possible scenarios. That is, either you have less than two groups, or you can have more than two groups. See, it has to be minimum two. Why? Because otherwise, what will you compare? What will you compare? Right? So there has to be either two or more than two. For instance, suppose you are studying about some income difference across the nations, right? Now, depending upon your motivation and the resources which are available to you, there could be two possibilities that you want to compare. Just two nationalities for their income. Okay. For instance, you want to compare Americans and Indians, right? For their income, because we are comparing the income, right? For the time being. So if we are comparing Americans and Indians, and based on that, you want to make a projection about the income differences between Western and the Asian economies. Or if you can manage a data collection from more than two countries, then you may include America, China, Japan, some countries from Europe, some countries from Africa, and you would like to make your entire sample very representative of the world economy. So, in general, for making comparison between the groups, you require at least two groups. And when you have two groups, then you apply what we call it independent sample t-test, because these groups are independent of it, right? So this should be very, very clear to you till now, that for making a group comparison, you need at least two groups. So I have written less than equal to two, if you see it over here. Now, why it is so? So I will explain what do I mean by less than two, because I have already mentioned you that there has to be at least two. Okay. So when you have two groups, you have to apply a family of statistical tests, whom we call as a t-test, which was given by one of the statistician. His name was William Gossett. Actually, this t-test was given by Professor William Gossett. Okay. And there are two formulation of the t-test. In fact, this is rule for both the group size being less than two or more than two. So either you have groups equal to two or more than two. The groups might be correlated groups and might be unrelated groups. When I say groups, I usually mean scores of the groups. Okay, the entire scores of the group. So, for instance, if you are talking about the income difference across the nations, so by the group here, I mean the income of 100 or 200 number of people, right? Whatever you choose, means whatever people you are taking, that is up to you. But there have to be some representative of some people, those who are included in the group as such. Now, if you look at this example where you are comparing income across the nationalities, and let's take example of two nationalities, that is American versus Indian, which we have already taken up. So if a person's part of one group, if a person is a part of one group, he or she is excluded from the other. So these two groups are mutually exclusive of each other. So one person cannot be a part of both groups. So these groups are independent, or you can say in other words that in case of for applying independent sample t-test, it is must that the groups must be mutually exclusive. There should not be a common member in them. Now here, if you want, you can just think of that you cannot include those NRIs who are working in America and are citizens of India. Okay. So either on the basis of their residentship or on the basis of their citizenship or whatever basis which is in which there should not be a commonality, you have to fix it up. Okay, then only you can make a comparison, particular, then only you can use an independent sample t-test, right? So you cannot say that a person, that's why sometimes we take gender as such, right? So a person is a male, cannot be a female. A person is a female, cannot be a male. So there is a mutual exclusivity. In the same way, so suppose I want to compare whether a teacher or whether the people of class section A, section B, and section C, who has performed well. So what I will do is I will take the sections as such. So no person will be part of both the sections or two sections at a time. So this is one precondition you can assume, right? So these groups are independent. The observation of income from group 1 versus income from group 2 is independent at all. Okay. And when it is a scenario like this, you apply what we call as an independent sample t-test. Okay. Likewise, in contrast to this, there could be a scenario which observation. Okay, please tell me up till now, is it clear to you or not? Have I made it clear that when we are going to use independent sample t-test, okay, it is clear to everyone? Okay, fine. At least you can, yeah, just like some people are showing their thumbs, you can at least show it so that it becomes clear to me that yes, you are able to understand that. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, now, for example, you want to study whether people who migrate from India go to America or people who migrate from Italy and go to America, whether there has been a significant improvement in their standard of living measured in terms of annual income over a period of time. Right? Let me repeat this. For instance, you want to study whether the people who migrate from India to America, number one, and second thing, people who migrate from Italy to America. So there are two groups now. Whether there has been a significant improvement in their standard of living, or which can be measured to the annual income over a period of time. So what do you do in such a case? Tell me. Anyone? I want to understand that people, those who are migrated from India to America and those who migrated from Italy to America, and I have compared their standard of living, or you can say the earning by the annual income they have earned in going over there in America, and I want to compare these two. What type of test it will be?
So t-test.
T-test is test, no issues, but will it be an independent sample t-test?
So independent sample t-test.
Yeah, why so?
Because it's two groups and they are independent, no paired groups are there. Like,
yeah. Okay, so what we are doing is we will try to find out some of those migrants who visited the country sometimes back, and you would like to ask them their existing income. But what might not be, it might not be very accurate because it could be based on their memory. But suppose you take that income and you ask them their current income after, say, 5-6 years of their stay in the country. And if you find out that, yes, there is a significant jump or an increase in the income over a period of time of these migrants, then you are in a position to say that yes, the migration did contribute to their improvement in their standard of living. Now see, I have given you a scenario where the people have migrated from Italy to America and from India to America. Okay. So has there been any improvement in their standard of living? So we deploy another version. We deploy a version of t-test which is known as paired sample t-test over here, where I am actually comparing the income in their income in India and their income in America. Okay. Second way, I am comparing their income in Italy and their income in America. Okay. So what I am doing is I am applying a paired sample t-test. The scenario now is different. Now, what I am checking is their income in their country and their income in migration. So, I actually want to understand whether the migration was fruitful or not. Okay. So here, what is the term which is there? Migration. So the same people who were there before and after the migration, I am comparing, and that's why this is called paired sample t-test. Now it is applied only when the group scores are being correlated, being dependent. Means same thing. It happens usually when the case IDs means your participants repeated the situation or across the measurement, right? But if your participants are independent, so that in the case you go for independent sample t-test, but in case your participants being repeated, because I am comparing the same person before and after the migration. So I actually want to understand whether the migration was fruitful or not. Okay, so in that case, I have to judge only those people, those who are the same people, those who were previously there and afterwards there. There I will be comparing, there I will be using the this paired sample. But in case of the participants being repeated across different measurement situation, then you have to go for the paired sample. But now just to clarify, let me ask you a question. Okay. Suppose an early age researcher wants to find out, is there any pay disparity between men and women in the IT sector employed or those for which are employed in the IT sector, right? So this sector is often under the debate because of the very high pay and the different sales. But suppose you want to test it based on the data. So how exactly would you address this question? Okay, how will you do that? Anyone? I hope you are able to understand the question. Yeah, anyone? Oh, should I repeat?
Yes, sir, please repeat.
Suppose you want to find out that is there any pay disparity between the men and women in IT sector? Means men and women employed in the IT sector. So what will you do?
So t-test?
T-test is always there. What type of t-test?
Independent sample t-test, sir.
No, how will you do that? Means how will you, what will be the procedure? Yeah.
Procedure is we have to prepare a survey questionnaire measurement of their, like we have different income groups, females and males. We have to enter the data, then we will run the t-test on any software.
Okay. What will you ask? Their annual salary. That's it.
Yes, annual or monthly salary.
Yeah.
Any
So let us suppose you get 60 males and 40 females in your study. Right?
Yes, sir.
Now the data is with you. With a statistical test, which statistical test you will employ? You have said t-test, right? So I am sure you might have figured out that what are the two groups, right? Now see, one more thing is there. Here you are comparing what? Here you are comparing two groups which are mutually exclusive of each other, right? Males, females, females. You just want to know the differences between the income disparities between the males and females. Now suppose, if you have to compare that they have migrated from one sector to another sector, okay, and their income in the another sector is also there, and the previous income is also there, right? So which test will you apply over here?
The paired sample t-test.
Very good, very good. Paired sample t-test it will be. So that's how we actually do. But what will be the hypothesis? Okay, in this case, let us talk about hypothesis also. What will be the hypothesis in paired sample
Sir,
t-test and in independent sample t-test?
sir, for independent sample, we will have null hypothesis as uh, there is no mean difference in the male and female two groups in terms of their income. It will be the hypothesis for independent sample t-test. And for pair sample t-test, we can form like there is no mean group, no difference in the variance. No, sorry, difference, mean difference in between female and male in pre, uh, uh, from pre to post migration of the groups like this.
Good, good, very good. Okay, so means what we are doing is we are either seeing, means in another way of writing hypothesis can be, because we are seeing the effectiveness of migration, suppose, right? So we can write in that there is significant difference in the income of the group pre and post migration, or otherwise we can say there is a significant difference in the scores of the participants pre and post the the session happened. Okay, so we can even you can even see the difference between your knowledge of AI in research before this 5 days workshop and after this five days workshop. Okay, so similarly, if we are comparing more than two nationalities about their income, now we have talked about two nationalities and two income, two groups. Okay, now if we are comparing more than two nationalities about their income, or whatever outcome variable you can you have in your mind, you can just take. You will employ one-way ANOVA, right? And whenever there are more than two repeated groups, you employ a repeated major ANOVAs, right? So it is as simple as that. Okay. So once it gets into your understanding, I think you will be able to remember it for life, right? So just to quickly summarize this entire flow chart, whatever is given over here, the analysis of group difference required to you know whether there are two groups or more than two groups. If there are two groups and if the groups are independent, you go for independent sample t-test. And if there are two groups and are related, means pre and post like, so scores are dependent, it means you are using the paired sample t-test. Now, when there are more than two groups for independent situation or independent groups, you go for one-way ANOVA, which stands for analysis of variance, as we have studied. And when more than two groups are repeatedly observed, you are repeatedly observing more than two groups for some score or for a period of time, and you wish to see whether these scores are significantly different from each other or statistically different from each other, you go for repeated measure of ANOVA. So we will use the independent sample t-test, paired sample t-test, and one-way ANOVA for the demonstration, and we will use the repeated measure of ANOVA later when we have some other workshop. We will be trying to do that. So here we will be starting with this t-test itself. So before we jump into the t-test, we have some assumption of, because t-test and ANOVA are parametric, right? So there are certain assumptions particularly related to parametric. So when you do any statistical analysis, you usually apply a statistical test For instance, for demonstration, we have talked about that we will be using t-test and ANOVA, which are the tests of the group differences. So all the statistical tests have certain assumptions, right? So assumptions means that these are the conditions which need to be fulfilled for the results to be validated, right? So their conclusion or the conclusions drawn from their applications to be valid. So these are known as the assumptions for the test, that we assume that these things are there and we assume that the outcome will be valid. And all the statistical tests, if we have to categorize them, it can be categorized into two categories, right? One we call the test which fulfills certain assumptions, means to be true, means these assumptions are considered to be true. They require certain assumptions to be fulfilled, and they are known as parametric test. Or while the second category of the test, those statistical tests which are almost assumption, which are assumption free, or they do not require any assumption to be fulfilled if you wish to apply them. So we call them as assumption free test, or you can say these are called non-parametric tests. So all in all the statistical tests can be categorized into two parts. One is parametric versus non-parametric. Okay. And so far you have understood by the parametric, we mean that they require certain assumptions to be fulfilled, while non-parametric do not require much assumption. It is not that they do not require any assumption at all. It doesn't mean that. They are not completely assumption free, but certain assumptions can be violated. Okay, this we have to consider. So they are not as strict as their demeanor as the parametric tests are. So the idea behind the parametric and non-parametric test is but the assumptions of what type of assumptions these are, that needs to be verified, and these are written over here. So we have been repeatedly saying that there must be they must fulfill certain assumption, but the assumption regarding what? So the instance when you imagine a person who will work as an engineer, at least you assume that he must be having some engineering degree, right? So if not degree, he must be having some sufficient diploma or some engineering experience he must be having. So if he or she is an engineer, and if you believe that the degrees are not really required to be a good engineer, but even in that case, you need to supplement it with a good amount of experience, or you can say some diploma course you might have done. So the assumptions are everywhere. So whenever we are thinking, we are putting our assumptions. Because even you are going to a doctor, you assume that he must be having some medical knowledge. Okay. So that is the assumption which we keep. That's why sometimes what we do, we take medicine from the chemist sometimes. And we assume that the chemist at least is having some you can say idea about the medicine, and we try to take it from them. So, but still there is assumption in our mind that he must be having something, some qualification, right? So when we talk about the parametric and non-parametric test and their assumption, so the assumption basically pretend to what we call the parameters of those tests. And there are two popular parameters which have the say in the assumption, which is about the mean score and the standard deviation. These are the two important things around which the assumptions are made. And here is a catch. When you do a research or analysis, you collect a small sample drawn from a population, and you do all your calculation and analysis based on that sample, but you wish to make a judgment and a statement about the entire population by studying that sample. So the sample mean and the sample statistics, or the sample statistics simply are your parameters. So parameter means population statistics. And if you keenly observe, if you see your books, parameters are nothing but the population standard deviation. Population means these are the things which are related to the population itself. So parameters mean population status. So the population mean is a parameter, a population standard deviation is a parameter, right? And the things are on the basis of, and actually we are talking about what mean and the deviation, because we are talking about t-test, we are talking about ANOVA, and whatever we will be talking about, these things are the things which will be in our mind and heart. And everywhere, in every formula, you will see only these things. The play is around only the standard deviation and the mean, which are the actual parameters, right? So, for instance, when you are studying, comparing the salary of Americans and Indians, which we have just now discussed, you know very well that you cannot study the entire America or entire Indian population. So you collect data from 200 or 300 participants, which are which have formed the part of the group, and which are representing the entire countries. So all in all, you have sample data, sample characteristics, sample statistics, like sample means, sample standard deviation, but the based on the statistical techniques and the algorithm using the sample mean, you can make a fair guess or a judgment and predict that this would be the possible range of your population mean. So the beauty of the statistics is here is that it is a probabilistic science, and based on the data that you have in your hand, you are in a position of making certain prediction about the broader sample. We can call it as the entire population. Yesterday I told you that when we increase our sample size, okay, I was telling you about the standard error yesterday. So when we keep on increasing our sample size, we try to tend to the entire population, and the sample size is so large that it has compared the entire population. Your things about the population and sample size will be one, right? Now, it is something like that, that you do so good humanity, that you so good things you are doing, that you have now as good as the God is, right? There is no one beyond that. We all are part of it. So if we do our good deeds, so good deeds, and we keep on doing that selflessly, what we can imagine is that we ourselves have become God, and the God is within us, and we are with the God. In the same way is the case of the sample. When the sample size keeps on increasing, and it becomes entire population itself. So there is no difference between the sample mean and the population mean, right? And this is possible only when your sample parameters, say population mean, population standard deviation, fulfill certain assumptions which are here. So for instance, the assumption of the normality distribution, first of all, it is there. So if you wish to apply a t-test to compare the income of Americans and Japanese, or Americans and Indians, so an assumption would be that the income of Americans and Indians is normally distributed, right? Means it follow a bell-shaped curve in their respective population. Similarly, the another hypothesis is of homogeneity of variance. It is the next one. Right? Now, the term homogeneity is fairly simple. Okay, it means homogeneous or similar. So, if you again take two or three samples, two or more samples, so that there would be some variability within the samples, someone would have variability within the samples. Someone would have very high income, some may have moderate income, some people may have low income, or
Dayanand sir, please, please mute yourself. That's what I wanted to say. Sorry for the interruption, sir.
I lost my flow anyways. Okay. So we were talking about the variability, that is the homogeneity in the variant. So someone would have, I was telling you about the income, that if we keep on taking some samples from the same population itself, right? So there can be the variability. So this variability is fine. It is okay. It will come. It will come. In fact, variability is welcome, because If variability is not there, homogeneity is there, there is no meaning of going for any statistics, right? So variability is the foundation of a good statistics. But overall distribution of the variance is in these two samples should be similar. This is again very, very important. Okay, so these group must be homogeneous as far as their distribution of the deviation or distribution of the standard deviation of the or the variance is there, and it is nothing but the square of the standard deviation. Variance is what? Standard deviation is what? It's the square of the variance itself, under root of the variance. So variance is nothing but the square of the standard deviation. So that your hypothesis is about the homogeneity or the variance, what it will be, right? So the last two hypotheses are fairly under control of the researcher. If the researcher is careful, he can manage to ensure these two things. Another thing is randomness. So normality and homogeneity can be managed in one or the other way. Now the randomness, right? So randomness is a randomness for one or the other reason. There has to be. So make sure that you have collected your data using some probability sampling method. Then only you can say that the things are random, right? So not the convenient sampling, right? Or any non-probability sampling should not be there, because that renders you a data which is unsuitable for being for using a parametric test. And practicing randomization using an experimental design is a good way of bringing the randomness in your observation if you are doing if you are going with the experimental design, right? And finally, independence of the sample, right? That is the last one. So these samples must be independent of each other. There is no way that the income or in one sample or the response of the one group should affect the response of the other. So that it is again desired assumption of the parametric test. So these are the four generic assumptions, or you can say general assumptions, that you should always keep in mind that any parametric test like t-test or ANOVA, they must fulfill this assumption, right? Finally, you can ask me what if these assumptions are violated. Yeah, what if these assumptions are violated? And they are fairly violated. Often they are violated. So in that case, we have some inbuilt test of statistics. We have some statistical prescription that can be used to improvise the assumption or the violation scenario in our sample. But overall, you should report it in your in writing. And this has been a scenario, means maybe assumption of normality of disease is violated, or groups are not homogeneous, or even for the convenience sampling, non-probability sampling has been used. And despite that, on the practical side, you will see that the people take a good amount of liberty, right? So whenever these assumptions are violated, despite that, if the sample size is sufficiently large, they will use parametric test like ANOVA or the t-test. Because I've already told you, when the sample size becomes larger, then it tends to become normal and it tends to become random also. So the practical lesson over here is that it's very important for a researcher to be aware of assumption of parametric and non-parametric test, and whichever test he or she is applying, you have to report it in writing in your thesis or your paper. At the same time, try to keep your sample size as large as possible, right? Because larger your sample size is, greater it approximates to the characteristics of the true population, right? Any doubt up till here? Anything you want to ask? I hope I have cleared many things. These things very, very lucidly and clearly.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, please, Madhumita.
Sir, if in my data,
Yeah.
one variable means one independent variable. Like we have five. Suppose I have five independent variables.
Okay.
For and I test the normality for the five, but I got that four are okay, but one doesn't have the proper significant value like 0.5 and all. So like if it is not normal, it is not normally distributed, and everything is like not
Madhumita,
significant.
yesterday I showed you one graph which was of
Yes, histograms.
income and, histogram of income and grade. Right?
So, my question is, sir, if one variable is not normal,
It's
should
okay.
I delete that variable
No,
or
no. Don't delete that variable. I told you, I have already given you the answer. Increase the sample size.
if I cannot increase, if the data is already collected and I do not have the scope to collect more data, what should I do? Because I have these consequences in my research.
No issues.
What should I do?
This
What
is
is the
what
ideal
happens.
solution?
No. I told you this is what happened. People collect the data and then afterwards come for a solution. The same thing is happening with you. No issues. Please mention it in your report that the data it's not showing or it's not satisfying the normality test, and you apply the test. No issues. Okay, because it happens many a times. So at least your research should not be a bad research, right? It should be a good research rather. That and you have showed your honesty that you have mentioned it that yes, this is what has happened. Okay, so no issues.
Okay.
Mention it, write it, report it. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, most welcome. Yeah, any other question or any other query if you have?
So Baba sir has raised.
Yes, why not?
Sir, good evening and
Very
thank
good.
you very much for very elaborated discussion on sample. Sampling is the foundation of our research.
Sir, actually, why I did this, you on the very first day, you
Yes.
pointed out there has to be a very good. Sir, where is your video today? You are off.
Okay. All right. So, thank
I
you,
feel
sir.
energetic when I see you.
Same here. So I was just telling the sample. Just now this child said,
Yeah.
I will increase my sample size.
Mhm.
It is not necessary that if you increase the sample size, you will get any improvement in results. And
Yes, sir. You're correct.
my question to you is, sir, what is the limitation of sample size, because universe is very big, and what is the sample size which I say that if I have taken that many numbers, I should be confident, yes, now don't worry, it will represent the population, and
Sir,
some
sir.
rule or some rule, whatever.
Yes, sir. So the number is 384.
Yes, sir. I wanted
Right.
that these people to know.
This is actually 384. And if you want exact citation, I will send you the citation also. Right?
Thank you.
384 is the exact number. When we are taking this number, it is assumed, and it is it actually happens 95%, 99% it happens.
Yes,
Right?
right.
It fulfills all the assumptions. Now, what happens is that mostly sometimes we are not in position to collect the this random sample,
All right.
right? Because suppose I want to analyze the customer satisfaction of banking sector. Now you understand the population is infinite, so there I have to limit myself. So it is said that it should not be less than 384. Anything more than 384 will work. More sample, more will be the sample size, more reliable the result. Provided the data is collected very honestly, and it is nowadays what has happened, sir. Nowadays this Google form is there. So every Tom, Dick, and Harry is just filling the Google form, irrespective of what is written in it. And people are just having the garbage of the data, and they put the garbage in the machine or in the software, and they get the garbage out. That's what we call is garbage in and garbage out. right? So this should be very, very carefully, and we must be very, very ethical. We have to be, because those who are researchers, they are the foundation of any country. And if we will report a wrong research, and if we will report something which is wrongly done, whosoever will be the person who will be reading it will always take that as correct, because at least today we still have some, you can say, some respect of being a researcher, but we should not spoil that forever. Okay, so everyone must collect the data. That's what you said. I was very much impressed on the very first day when you said that the data must be very, very good. Test can be applied using any software, but the
Right.
data has to be, and the goodness of the data is that it should be collected very fairly, very clearly in order to.
Right. Sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So let us just understand this particular independent sample t-test, right? I hope you are
So,
able to see the formula on your screens.
so I
Yeah,
have,
you have some other question? Yeah, please, come on.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
So just now, like Madhumita ma'am mentioned,
Yeah, who is
that
this? Who is this?
this is Dr. Meenal Pense.
Yeah, Dr.
Meenal
Bilal,
Pense.
open your video.
So
Yes,
right now
Dr.
I'm in a
Yeah.
hospital.
Yes, okay, no issues.
Uh, So the thing is, just now Madhumita madam mentioned
Mhm.
that for 4 questions there was a normal data, normal
Yeah.
distribution could be seen,
Mhm.
but for the fifth question, maybe the normal distribution is not seen.
Mhm.
So my question is, when we are trying to assess the normality, whether it should go question by question, this is my first question. And then second is, in such cases where normality is not seen, does that mean we have to imply any non-parametric test?
Yeah, that is again one thing. That if the variable is not that much important, which the reporting of which may be, which means out of which it can, means you can use non-parametric test also. At the same
Mhm.
time, you can use parametric test if you have sufficiently large sample and the normality is not yet achieved, and you want to see the interaction of a parametric, or you can say a normal data with a non-normal data, still you can go for it. But at the same time, please report it. That's what I told. You have to report it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Another thing is that you can use non-parametric test also, but at the same
Mhm.
time, non-parametric tests are non-parametric. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
Sir,
and
and
one submission, this
Yes, sir.
citation of 384, if given to everybody, because many times in administration, people pressurize people, कि ज्यादा data lao. At that
Sir,
time,
I will do it today itself.
yes.
Okay. On the group, I will send the entire complete citation and I will
Right.
give the paper also.
Because many people are
You are very correct.
harassed.
You are very
I am using the word, they are harassed for bringing
They
more
harass,
data.
they harass. They
Right.
harass. Even they do not, even they themselves do not know this, sir.
Right. So,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, Dr. Pence, I hope I have answered you.
yes, sir. And there was another question from my side, sir.
Uh,
Just now you mentioned the goodness of the data. So, my question is, if normal distribution is not seen,
Mhm.
does that mean our data is ambiguous?
No, it's not always like that. I told you, madam.
Ah.
Suppose you are taking a data of some people who are running in the race. It will be skewed. It will not be normal, ma'am. Right? So it depends on what type of data it is. It is not
Mhm.
always that the data will always come normal. That's why I'm saying that you can apply one normal and another non-normal also. Mention it.
Okay.
When you will be mentioning it, then the reader will understand that, oh, there cannot be any normal distribution out of it. I told you
Mhm.
yesterday, I showed you the data which was negatively skewed, the data of those people, those who are taking part in the race.
Mhm.
So most of the people will be more than the mean, and the data will be negatively skewed. But it doesn't mean that it is a wrong data. The data will be like this only. Okay. So the main thing is that you must mention it. Please report it. Okay. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
what is your implication of when you say it is a good data or it is a bad data? I
Uh,
mean, and how,
again.
if I say if it is the missing
Dr.
values
Meenal,
or something,
it is just a situational. I cannot say,
okay.
I cannot assume anything for, and these the things I have just now told you. One example,
Mm-hmm.
a data can
Okay.
be a good data even if it is not normal, even if it is not homogeneous, even
Okay.
if it is not random, it still can be a good data. Are you getting my
Okay,
point?
sir. Yes.
It depends on what type of data is being collected, right?
Okay,
Suppose you
sir.
are collecting a data for birth rates. Of course, the birth
Mm-hmm.
rates data will be positively skewed,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it doesn't mean that it is a bad data. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so let us dive into the complexities also now. So now we have seen the fundamentals that we require to approach our statistical test of the group of differences. So let's begin with our first test, which is the independent sample t-test. So let's look at the formula of t-test, because that will also help you in reminding yourself always what is going inside the statistical process, or in the mind of the chat GPT, whether the chat GPT is giving you output writing the codes, right? And it is a very good habit to look at what chat GPT is doing and what code it is writing to find the hint of whatever we are discussing over here, right? So for instance, when the chat GPT calculates details, try to figure out whether it is using the mean of the difference groups denoted as you can say x1 bar or x2 bar, or right, whatever is given over here. So that will help you building more confidence with the statistic. So the formula of t-test is fairly simple. You can see it. T-test is nothing but the ratio between the group differences in the numerator and the variation in the groups in the denominator. Can you see that? Okay, so you can see in the numerator we have written x1 bar minus x2 bar, where x1 and x2 are simply the sample mean of the group 1 and 2 respectively. Okay, so whatever group you take, they are labeled as 1 and 2 by the chat GPT or by any software, right? So while in the denominator, you have symbols like say small s and 1 and n2, n1 capital and n2, and are, and these are easier to understand. You must be guessing that they represent the number of observation in group 1 versus group 2. You are absolutely right. What is S square? So S square refers to the pooled sample variance, right? Since you are using two samples, so the joint combined pooled sample variance is given by the formula of S square, which is nothing but N1 minus 1 multiplied by S. 1 squared means variance of first sample variance from where you will get from the standard deviation. And from where you will get the standard deviation, you will get it from the scores, right? So you put everything in the pooled sample variance formula. So this is helpful because it also gives you a pooled sample variance formula in many of the graduate courses. If you see, the students are required to calculate the pooled sample variance itself. So in case you have stayed this render stare or Davis, these books are there. So a number of observations are available in this render stare and these books, right? Render stare is a very famous book of statistics. If you want, I refer this book for my purpose. So I'm referring this to you also because this clarifies each and every concept of statistics. Render and stare. Please make a note of it, right? Okay. So I was telling you about you can easily calculate the pooled sample variance, which is n1 minus 1 multiplied by s1 square plus n2 minus 1 multiplied by s2 square divided by n1 plus n2 minus 2, which is nothing but the degree of freedom, right? So number of reasons in each group minus 1, or number or you can say n minus 1 plus n2 minus 1, so that it turns out to be n1 plus n2 minus 2. So this is your formula in a simple way, or you can say I have operated the entire complete formula in this way, right? So I hope you understand this clearly. So we will next calculate we will see the calculation of this particular what we call is your t-test itself, and using the ChatGPT itself, right? So this is the formula which actually goes inside it. I have I think I have over elaborated it to all of you, but this is something which I think needs to be done. I think I have used as simple as I could do. Okay.
सर अगर
So
फाउंडेशन स्ट्रांग होगी तो बिल्डिंग स्ट्रांग बनेगी, एंड यू हैव लेड अ वेरी सॉलिड फाउंडेशन, राइट?
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. So understanding the data, and we have to formulate the hypothesis also. So before you proceed further with the actual data analysis, it is better to understand the data set completely and formulate your hypothesis. So look at the data set which I have already given you. It comprising of the 3 variables in the data, and we have group or the grouping variable, and then we have the depression scores. I have given you this file, I suppose. Please check your files. I have already given you this depression scores independent sample t-test file. Is it with you? You just please click open it up on your systems. You will be able to understand this. Right? Depression score, in which one and the first most row is of the groups, means group is given over there. Grouping variable is there, and then we have the depression scores, if you can see, and then we have the gender. Can you see that? I hope you have got this. And no response from anyone is coming. The files which I have given you yesterday, see those. There is one file called independent sample. Is it there? Have you got the file? Check your okay. Fine. People have opened it up. Okay. So please see these. Look at this data set. So we have 3 variables in this data. Okay. We have group or grouping variable, you can say, and we have depression scores, and then we have gender. If you look at this file itself, and if you look at the grouping variable, we have 2 groups named placebo and the treatment. Okay, so it seems that we have the data in total 80 participants data we have, because the first row is you can say the variable name. Okay, variable name row, and out of 80, 40 people, 40 people are the first 40 belonging to the placebo group, and remaining 40 belonging to the treatment. Okay, the placebo is named as 0, and the remaining is 1. Okay. So They were just given, means placebo is just like that. They were just given a fake treatment, and which we call as a placebo itself. And the second group were given the actual treatment, right? Or actual treatment can be psychodynamic psychotherapy or behavioral therapy or whatever, means psychotherapy, psychological therapy that has been given by the therapist, right? And the depression scores of are the subjects are recorded, and they have been measured on the depression inventory, where 20 is the maximum score in the depression. You will see 20 would be the maximum one. So, for the instance, this person placebo, he has reported the maximum. If you see, means he has not been given any treatment. That's why he might have reported the maximum level. So the level of depression score and the other are between ranging between the 0 to 20, and then we have gender as a subject of that and the last row. Now, based on this data, what hypothesis will you formulate? Come on. The data is with you. Placebos are there. Treatment group is there. Depression score is there with male and female. What will be the hypothesis which you will formulate? Come on. Madhumita, you are good in formulating hypothesis. And further, you
Sir,
have to tell me.
can you repeat the question, sir?
Have you opened the data set or not? First, tell me that.
No, sir.
You have not opened the data set?
Because I have to open my WhatsApp, then only I can open it.
So you should have downloaded it from the WhatsApp.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is here. Independent sample t-test.
Independent
Depression.
sample, absolutely depression score. Now see this this particular data.
Yes, sir. Depression and gender.
Absolutely. Depression score first is the grouping variable, that is 0
Yes,
and
sir.
1. 0 are placebos, means placebo. You know what is placebo? Placebo is a
Placebo
fake
effect.
medicine. Yeah, placebo is a fake medicine or a fake, you can say, treatment.
Yes. Psychological
Absolutely.
dosage of the something.
Absolutely,
Like,
absolutely.
yes.
And one represent that you have actually given the treatment. Right? Next row actually tells you about the depression scores.
Okay.
And the last row is about the gender.
Okay, sir.
Right. Now, based on this data, what hypothesis will you formulate? How will you proceed?
There is no significant difference between the significant difference between male and the female. No, there is no significant difference between two groups, male and females, in terms of the
Depression
level
score.
of depression. Level of depression.
Okay,
This is
but
level
question is not this, Madhumita. Question is that I have given a treatment to
Okay.
some of the people, and I have given placebo to some of them.
Okay.
So let me give you a hint. Is it suitable for
So
conducting ANOVA analysis?
It is suitable for?
Is it suitable for conducting ANOVA?
ANOVA. Sir,
Yes.
I have only two groups. So if I want to do the ANOVA test, then we have to divide the level of depression into three groups.
Madhumita, you are having 4 groups. See
So
the
one,
data
two.
carefully.
Sir, 1 and 2 is there only.
One is placebo with the male, another is placebo with female, another is treatment for male, another is treatment for female.
Oh, I have opened sheet 2.
No.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, ANOVA test is possible.
Possible?
Yes, sir.
So can I try with the hypothesis?
Yeah. Why not? Please. Yeah, who is this?
Meenal
Yeah,
Pensi, sir.
yeah, Dr. Meenal. Yeah, come on.
So there is no significant difference between the treatments, the two types of treatments, placebo and original, and there is a significant difference between the treatments.
Yes. Now,
This
even if-
could be
yeah.
one type
This
of
could be.
hypothesis.
Now, ANOVA is having a different type of hypothesis, which I will tell you when we will be running the ANOVA test. But here,
Mhm.
if we see for the simplicity, I have made it a little bit complicated for you guys because this is a part of this workshop itself, right? So if you say that ANOVA cannot be applied, you can be right, what Madhumita was saying. Now we can see two groups mainly over here. Either you look at the grouping variable or you look at the gender variable, which Madhumita was correctly watching, right? Whichever way you formulate your hypothesis, in both the cases, you have just two labels in this group, right? So the group variable has two labels, placebo and treatment, while gender is again having two labels, male and female. And we have depression scores, which is a numeric variable. So depression score seems to be the outcome variable, and we are just looking at whether the therapy, medicine, or treatment, whether whatever means is being given to the people is significantly more effective as compared to placebo. Okay, so one more question is there, which imagine if therapy or the treatment is effective, right? So how it would reflect, right? That is a question. So we hope that if the treatment or the therapy is really effective, then the average depression score of the participant in the treatment group would be lower as compared to the average depression score of the participant in the placebo group, right? Because placebo is just a fake one, right? It is not actually a treatment. Now, if you are a person who loves to understand your data, be very close to data, understand it, what is happening inside, right? You can see the different sorry, you can observe the difference scores people have reported in the placebo group, which is fairly like, so you can see 12, 15, okay, this 0, 3, 3, but even see 19, 18, 12, 14, 17, 13, and these are quite big numbers as visible over here. It means beyond 10, you can see many for the reasons. But if you look at the treatment group, so double digit numbers are comparatively lesser. Correct? Try to see it. So it means that the data actually conveys, it prima facie conveys that yes, the treatment is effective. So that's why people are reporting reduced reduced or the lower level of the this depression score as compared to the placebo group. So all in all, I do expect that we are going to find a significant difference between these two groups. Now, what about males and females? Since the data is not organized for males and females, so right now we cannot say much because the data is organized for placebos and the treatment. So if we arrange the data, we can see or we can observe that also, right? So right now we cannot say much, but if you wish, we can quickly sort it and you can see that these are the depression scores reported by the females, and then we can apply the depression score for the males. So there is no specific pattern, but still, if we expect more double-digit numbers in case of male participants as compared to the female participants, right? Then we can say that the males are more depressed as compared to the females, right? So at least we are able to understand that what is going on. Okay. So what can be the hypothesis? How will you formulate the hypothesis? On the basis of the data. Now we are going with this test with the two hypotheses. First, null hypothesis would be Dr. Beenal tried the one. Yes, Dr. Beenal?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
There is no
There is no
significant
Difference
difference.
in the depression score.
Huh.
Yes, come on.
In the depression score based on the treatments,
Yeah.
that is
Depression score
placebo
of the participants
of
belonging
the
to, yes, come on. Placebo and treatment group, right?
treatment group. Huh.
Very good. Right. Now, what can be the second hypothesis on the basis of gender?
Genders, we can do that.
Yeah, and the gender hypothesis, who will speak?
There is no
Madhumita,
significant.
where are you?
There is no
Yes,
significant
sir.
difference between
Yes,
There
the
is
Madhumita?
no
genders,
significant difference
between the
among the
genders.
groups or between two groups in terms of their gender. In terms
Oh,
of
there is no significant difference in what? Depression
In,
scores.
oh,
in
depression
different
score. Yes, sir. Depression score. I missed it.
Yeah, yeah.
Depression score. Yes.
Depression score with respect to the gender.
genders.
And what we
Regarding
expect,
the gender.
yeah, yes, we expect to reject both the hypotheses. So let us do it. Let us perform this test. Let me just take you up over there. Okay. Uh, okay. Okay. So I am just sharing with you. Okay. Can you see? So now I am just attaching that file. I hope you have this file, na? Independent sample treatment test, depression treatment. Right. Okay. Calculate a suitable statistical test to analyze whether groups labeled as zero placebo group and one treatment group differ significantly in their depression score. Depression scores. And secondly, if is the treatment effective? I have to see that also. Analyze. Okay. Now this is the prompt I'm giving. Okay. Fine. I've given the prompt. Let us see what it gives us. I have not told this ChatGPT. It is itself identifying what type of what. See what I have given the prompt. Calculate a suitable statistical test. I have not intentionally. I have not asked it to just go for the independent sample t test. Now it is doing its work. Okay, let's see what it has come up with. Now it has itself told us that independent sample t test was conducted to determine whether there is a statistically difference in the depression scores between the placebo group 0 and treatment group 1. T statistics it has calculated and the p value has come up. Now it has given us the interpretation since the p value is less than 0.05, we reject the null hypothesis. It means that there is a significant difference in the depression scores between the two groups, right? So what is the thing? What is the conclusion? It has also given us the conclusion that a treatment is effective and it leads to a statistically significant reduction in the depression scores compared to the placebo. Okay. Now, I hope you are able to understand and know how to apply the independent sample t-test, particularly when you are using when you have such type of data which I have just now shown. Any doubt in this? Okay, let me just do one more thing because I have just asked it, give me an APA style table. Now I am giving it more specific. I'm just talking it, just giving it one more thing that APA style table for the above analysis based on the t-test. One more thing, I have also asked it to go for this my Man-Whitney test, though it has it given it or not, because in the previous prompt it gave. It has not given me this, so I'm just removing this. I just want this in APA style table so that I can report it. Okay. Let us see what it generates for. Now see. Now this table. Now previously it has reported me only these two things. One was the t statistics and another was the p-value. Though I can conclude my things out of it. But if I have to report it in any journal, then I need this table. Okay, where there is n, mean score is given, standard deviation is given, t-value is given. It's the same what has been and the this degree of freedom and the p-value, right? Along with this, now it has also already given me the notes. The difference in the mean score was this, and this. It has now given. Would you like this table to be in editable MS format or LaTeX code? You can just tell it. It will be in that, or otherwise just copy this table from here and paste it wherever you want. Okay. This is how you have to conduct the independent sample t-test. Okay.
Sir, in our query, we had not informed 0 is placebo, 1 is non-placebo. From where he picked up while tabulating placebo?
Sir, when treatment is given, na, sir, treatment, then it was treatment itself. 0 is always placebo, 1 is the treatment. Because we have to compare the treatment and the non-treatment one, na, sir?
No, but we never told him what is placebo. From where he picked up the word placebo?
Sir, this is AI.
Right.
Whenever if you have written treatment,
Yeah.
it is sufficient for it to just pick it up.
Mm.
Okay, sir. Okay, so let us proceed further. Welcome, Bhanawat, sir. Namaskar, sir. Okay, I'm sharing my PPT again. Okay. Now let us look at the paired sample t-test, right? We have already conducted the independent sample t-test. Now we will be conducting the paired sample t-test, right? So the paired sample t-test is used as its name suggests whenever you want to study whether there is significant difference exists between the two pairs for the observation. For instance, look at the data set which is with you. This data set is about the 50 participants who underwent a type. Can you see this data for paired sample test in the English document? Please show your thumbs if you are getting it, or otherwise should I send it to you again? Can you see that? Okay. Madhumita has shown. What about others? Okay. Neil has also shown. Fine. Should I proceed? Okay. Just observe this. This data set is about 50 participants who actually underwent a speed typing enhancement training program, right? So before they started the training, you can see there is a initial training speed score, and some are very good and some are below average. And if you see, some are having very poor speed. And after the training program of few months, this is the new typing speed of the participant, which is given over here. And you can see that these observations are coming in the format of the pairs, right? So for the case ID 1 means the participant 1, it's 192 words per minute. Can you see that? It is a typing speed before, and then typing speed after has become 198 per minute, right? So after completion of the training program, that is after completion of the training program itself. So similarly for the participant number 19, if you can see, the typing speed was 185 in the beginning, and after the training program, it has become 196 uh, at the completion of the program. Means whether training programs are significantly contributed to the speed measured in the terms of word per minute of the participants, then we need to conduct a paired sample t-test, because we actually want to understand and know the effect of either the treatment or the training or whatever. So I hope the idea of the pair is very clear to you, right? So all in all, there are 50 pairs in this data set. So let's have a quick look at the paired sample t-test formula, right? So paired sample t-test formula is easy to understand, because the t-test basically it's a ratio between the group differences, statistics numerator, and within the group variation is the denominator. So you can see this statistic of the group differences in the numerator. We have something called the bar, right? Which means that the difference between the paired observations. Okay, so if, let us not go in the formula more, because I also have this formula is not properly written with me too. Anyways, but as you have already considered the formula of this independent sample t-test, you can easily make out what will be done. So diving in the formula will not take us up anywhere over here, because one foundation is already with you, right? So let's look at the data itself. So data set is about 50 participants, as I've already told you, and there are certain things which are given pre and post, right? So what over here is required is that, because pairs, in case of pair sample t-test were usually the group. So the group is group in the situation 1 and the group in the situation 2. So the group difference in the numerator and denominator, which are there, which will be divided as such, have to be there in the formula itself. So the entire formula is just is a replication of the group itself, right? Means group 1 and group 2, and it is similar as that of the. So, and the standard deviation is actually basically, you can say, the standard deviation of the difference in the groups itself. Previously, it was from the standard deviation of the independent groups. Here, the paired groups standard deviation is there, which will make the comparison. Right now, what will be the hypothesis over here when we are proceeding further with this? So before proceeding with this, we must be clear with the hypothesis. So let us formulate our hypothesis and try to understand the data we are going to use for this hypothesis testing. So as I shared previously, this data set contains the result of the typing speed, or you can say the training test taken by the 50 participants who actually underwent into the typing speed enhancement program. And this is their typing speed before and after, which you can see in the data itself. And this typing speed is recorded in terms of the word per minute. And after the completion of the training program and the researchers want to understand whether the training program was effective or not. So what will be the hypothesis which can be formulated over here? Anyone? So
Sir,
in
I
learning,
can say,
yeah, why not? Come on.
sir, there is no significant effect of the training on the typing speed of the participant.
Very good, very good. Excellent. You have become now expert.
Thank you, sir.
So what will be the null hypothesis? This is, so we should call this as a null hypothesis, that there is no significant difference in the typing speed of the party, because what is in question? What we want to assess whether the program was good or not. It means has there been any difference in the typing speed or not? That is what we want to understand. Okay, so that's our null hypothesis. And what will be the alternate hypothesis? That there is.
There is a significant effect.
difference.
Okay, yeah, Tanushree ji.
Yes, I was telling the same thing, sir. The
Okay,
alternate hypothesis would be that there is a significant difference, in the typing speed of the people after the training program.
Okay, excellent. So let us go with this particular thing. So null hypothesis is that there is no significant difference in the typing speed. Alternate hypothesis will be that there is a significant difference in the training speed of the participant before and after the training. Okay, so this is what the hypothesis. So let us conduct this particular test in ChatGPT itself. Okay. Okay, let me. Okay. Taking you back to the my GPT itself. So I have to upload the file. This is the typing set data. Okay, I hope you have this file. Open this. Okay, and I will put only one prompt now. Okay, the prompt which I put before, and then again I ask for APA style, right? I'm just putting this prompt over here. Just now see, give me a calculation of the paired sample t-test along with the APA style, stable and write up, not stable, it is table, style table, and write up for the result in the to be shared result for standard general format. Okay, let us. Now see, it is giving the results. And this is the APA style table also for your ready reference. Okay. So a paired sample t-test was conducted to evaluate the effectiveness of the typing training program by the comparing the participants' typing speed before and after the intervention. Okay. Results are the mean typing speed before training was this, and standard deviation is given, and the mean typing speed after the training program. See, it has increased with a standard deviation, similar standard deviation, right? So the results of the t-test was this, and it is found to be significant. Now that indicates statistically significant increase in the typing speed. Significant, statistically significant increase in the typing speed is there after the training program, suggesting that the intervention was effective, right? Now this is the table which you can copy from here and paste it wherever you want. Okay. Any doubt? So this is how very easily uploading one thing we can actually do the. So t-test is all over. Another one form of t-test is one sample t-test where we compare the value of whatever you are trying with one value. Whether it is significant or not, it will tell you. Okay. So that is not much used, because instead of that, people try some other test rather than this t-test for comparing one value. Normally, it is the paired and the independent sample t-test, which we have just now done with. Okay. Now, this is another thing which we can go for. Bhanawat sir?
Ji, sir.
Sir, it's already 8:41.
Yes,
and
yes.
I have one ANOVA also to be given. And regression भी मैंने अभी नहीं शुरू किया क्योंकि उसमें भी टाइम लगेगा और उसमें फंडे भी थोड़े से और क्लियर करने पड़ेंगे. तो आप बताइए कैसे करना है. वैसे तो जितना मैंने बता दिया वो आई थिंक दैट इज मोर देन सफिशिएंट फॉर देम टू ट्राई द अदर थिंग्स बाय देयर ओन. और मेरे से बाद में चाहे तो वो पूछ सकते हैं, और अगर चाहें तो मुझसे करवाना है तो आई एम ऑल्सो अवेलेबल सर, नो इश्यूज.
तो आप बताएं सर क्या मतलब कैसे करें फिर.
मैं तो कहता हूँ थोड़ा सा इनको ट्राई करने दीजिए
जी,
और देखते हैं ना किसमें किसको कितना वो है.
ठीक है.
तो
फिर ये ग्रुप है, इसमें आगे जो भी रिएक्शंस होंगे स्टाफ से अकॉर्डिंगली आगे तय कर लेंगे.
मुझे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, मैं हर तरह हर चीज के लिए तैयार हूँ. अगर एक दिन एक्स्ट्रा भी देना पड़ेगा तो मैं उसके लिए भी तैयार हूँ.
जी,
मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम.
लेट पार्टिसिपेंट्स रिएक्ट कैसे करना है.
हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल. क्योंकि जो मैंने अभी तक पढ़ाया ना सर, वो एक आई थिंक डीप रूटेड इनको आ गया होगा कि इसमें फंडामेंटल्स क्या चलते हैं.
जी,
है ना. और आगे भी ऐसा ही सेशन होगा, तो मतलब चाहे तो अपन एक सेशन अनोवा और इसका रख सकते हैं फॉर दोज पार्टिसिपेंट दोज हु आर इंटरेस्टेड इन लर्निंग.
जी,
देखिए रेस्पॉन्स क्या आता है आपके पास, उसके हिसाब से फिर आप मुझे बता दीजिएगा एंड वी विल कीप वन सेशन ऑन एनी ऑफ द म्यूचुअली डिसाइडेड.
अभी डिसाइड कर ही लेते हैं ना साहब, ग्रुप का क्या रिएक्शन है.
श्योर, बताएं सब.
Hello.
हाँ जी.
So Tanishri ma'am wants to say something.
हाँ
Yes.
बोलिए please.
Sir, I was just going to ask as to how to go about with the ANOVA, but I think sir has just explained. Maybe somewhere we can try in the same way and on the ChatGPT and come up, because t-test has given us a lot of idea of how to go about with the data, how to analyze it and how to compute it. But then if definitely Bhanawat sir also is there and sir is there definitely. So
मैं एक काम कर सकता हूँ मैम. What I can do is I can share the prompts with you. Data तो आपको attach करना आ ही गया.
बिल्कुल
I
बिल्कुल
can share the prompts with you. You can get the results, and if you are not able to make it out, you can approach me anytime.
Sure. I think, sir, that for me, I can tell that would be a better way. If you share all of these, we can make a try. And in case if we face some kind of problem, we can definitely get back to you.
You can
And the
directly
group
get
is
back
always
to me. You can. आपके पास मेरा number भी है. Everything you have. In every slide, I have given my number. आप मेरे से पूछ लीजिए, और आपको फिर भी आता है तो I will come online with you. मतलब rather than we should do it for everyone, we can do it one to one.
And that way, I think, sir, we can understand, sir. Yes, sir.
Because means आपको जो मैंने grounded कर दिया ना, वो I think that is more than sufficient. मैंने तो क्या किया, ईश्वर ने करवाया मेरे से. मैं तो इतना सक्षम नहीं हूँ, मैं तो कहूँगा.
Yes, yes, yes.
जी.
So we can try little bit, sir. Once when you give us the data and the prompt, we can tie in our own. And in case if we get hanged somewhere, we can discuss it in the group or maybe call you.
देखिए मैं अभी वाला जो मेरा स्लाइड्स है ना, मैं सारे आपको दे ही रहा हूँ.
जी सर.
Everything is there. you will even get something more deep rooted for your ANOVA analysis also, उसमें आपको मिल जाएगा। मतलब आप खाली अपलोड कीजिए, मैं जो प्रॉम्प्ट दे रहा हूँ वो आप डालिए, टाइप कीजिए, यू विल सी द रिजल्ट्स और आपको सेटिस्फेक्शन मिलेगा उससे। यहाँ तो क्या मैं करके दिखा रहा हूँ, तो then you will feel more satisfied also and you will feel more confident also, है ना। और अदरवाइज मैं तो अवेलेबल हूँ ही, मतलब
Yes, sir.
it's
Because
not
in
a,
Anu,
yeah, let me tell you, this
Ye-
is not an end. Today we are
right, sir.
actually we are at the end of the workshop. But let me tell you, because interacting with this group was something very, very different. I'm telling you, I have
Right.
never seen such a good interaction in any of the workshops, 150 workshops I have delivered. But I have never seen such interaction anywhere, really. So I'm
Right.
very much delighted, very much happy with this, and would like to come again and again whenever I'm required. And like, it's just like it's means I offer myself to all of you. What more I can say?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. We are really honored. Only in case of ANOVA, why I was just discussing, because it analyzes everything in terms of more than two groups. So sometimes where I get stuck is that the table which comes, it should be very clear. Like, for example, if we are trying to analyze on the basis of age or education or occupation, these demographic factors. So maybe we can try once when you give us the prompt information and we can ourselves do it. And if we face some problem, we can get back to you, sir.
Sure.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Anyone else? Anything else? You can have your personal things. No issues. Come up with that. Baba sir.
Sir, one general, I want to enrich myself now, having
Please.
seen the power of ChatGPT in statistical application and research. And there used to be a time when we used to say, for this we need to do SPSS or Stata SAS. That there are X number of software.
जरूरत ही नहीं उनके बताने।
हाँ, अब मेरे पूछने से पहले आपने बता दिया कि उनकी बिल्कुल जरूरत नहीं, राइट। ऐसे ही if we want to do the operational research in like simulations,
Sir, linear programming you are talking about?
Simulations and operations research.
Yes, sir, this is very powerful tool.
Right.
Simulations तो ये और भी अच्छे से करता है, because
So
it is
next
having the
workshop-
power of coding ना sir.
नेक्स्ट वर्कशॉप ऑन दैट बनावत साहब को रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे कि ये, क्योंकि सर ये फ्यूचर रिक्वायरमेंट, द मोमेंट यू आर गुड एट रिसर्च द इंडस्ट्री विल डिमांड सिमुलेशन एप्लीकेशन ऑफ दैट। एंड आई थिंक क्योंकि अब आपने ये शुरू कर दी, चिंगारी लगा दी है, अब ये बनेगी आगे जाके, तो ऑपरेशन रिसर्च के अंदर अगर आप नेक्स्ट वर्कशॉप भी कराएं तो आई थिंक इट विल बेनिफिट एवरीबॉडी।
सर सिमुलेशन का एक सॉफ्टवेयर आता है, आप चाहें तो वो देखें, उसको कहते हैं अपन, इसमें एक्सेल का एड ऑन है सर वो।
ओके,
दैट इज एक्चुअली कॉल्ड ओरेकल का सॉफ्टवेयर है, दिस इज कॉल्ड ओरेकल क्रिस्टल बॉल।
अच्छा, ओके, अच्छा।
हाँ जी, मतलब जो चीज अपने को करना। अच्छा, फिर होता क्या है सर, ये किसी भी सिचुएशन को ना आपको 1000 टाइम्स करके बताएगा और उसके आउटकम्स बताएगा कि अगर 1000 बार इसको अगर अपन रन करें तो उसकी इफेक्टिवनेस क्या होगी सर।
गुड, राइट।
मतलब ये 1000 टाइम्स का इसका वो रहता है, मतलब इटरेशन जो इसके है ना, क्योंकि अपन सिमुलेशन करते हैं तो अपने को इटरेशन करना पड़ता है सर।
एग्जैक्टली राइट।
I don't know whether others are understanding or not, but the thing is, I hope you are able, because you have talked about simulation. That's why I'm explaining it for you only, sir.
नहीं,
yeah, because 1000 times when you run it, then the iteration comes up, then it shows it's actually effective.
Exactly.
So that is a very powerful.
सर एक चिंता और है,
जहां
तक मेरी जानकारी है, कई कंपनीज ने अपने उनके जो लैपटॉप्स वो देते हैं ना अपने ऑफिशियल्स को, उस पे चैट जीपीटी का यूज बंद कर दिया है, इस डर से कि उनका डेटा लीक हो रहा है। एक तो ये चैलेंज कॉर्पोरेट में बहुत ज्यादा है, जैसे मेरा बेटा जिस कंपनी में है उन्होंने बिल्कुल बैन कर दिया, चैट जीपीटी आप यूज ही नहीं कर सकते। दूसरा, आज के एक अखबार में खबर छपी है कि ओपन एआई के जो पायनियर हैं, जिन्होंने शुरू किया है, उन्होंने ये कहा है कि बच्चे सब कुछ भूलते जा रहे हैं, चैट जीपीटी पे जो निर्भरता हो गई है, उनका एक स्वतंत्र चिंतन, स्वतंत्र सोच, अभी जो उन्होंने चैट जीपीटी से लिखा है 2 मिनट बाद उनसे आप पूछिए तो वो 2 लाइन बताने की स्थिति में नहीं है।
सर वो
हालांकि
करेक्ट
मुझे
है।
लगता है हर नई तकनीक के साथ चैलेंजेस हैं, और जब जब नई टेक्नोलॉजी आई है उसकी क्रिटिसिज्म हुई है ना। अब पीछे नहीं लौट सकते, लेकिन कभी ये जो चैलेंजेस हैं, मुझे लगता है उस एकेडमिक ग्रुप के अपन लोग मेंबर हैं, तो शायद उस पर भी कहीं सोचना चाहिए कि कितनी तरह की चॉइस ये दे रहा है, तो हमारा ब्रेन क्या पूरी तरह इस पर निर्भर हो जाएगा।
नहीं सर, मैं एक चीज मैंने उस दिन भी कही थी, जब ऐसा ही एक सिमिलर क्वेश्चन किसी और ने भी पूछा था। आई थिंक शायद कोई पुणे से कोई प्रोफेसर थे, उन्होंने मुझसे, हाँ देवाशीष जी ने पूछा था ये सर। तो एक्चुअली सर बात क्या है कि आपकी बात बिल्कुल सही है, हम ये हमारे हाथ में, हम शिक्षक हैं सर। तो चाणक्य ने कहा था एक शिक्षक की गोद में प्रलय और निर्माण बनते हैं। तो हम ही अपने जो छात्र हैं उनको प्रलयों की तरफ ले जा रहे हैं सर, निर्माणों की तरफ हम नहीं ले जा रहे। हम पहले से ही उनको इतना टफ बनाए कि वो चैट जीपीटी का या फिर किसी भी एआई के जो भी आपके जो प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं उनका ठीक से यूज करना तो हम सिखाएं। हम तो क्लास में, हम तो खुद तो यूज करके जाते हैं क्लास में, खुद अपनी पीपीटी उसी से बना के जाते हैं, और बच्चों को कहते हैं मत यूज करो। व्हाट इज दिस?
बच्चा भी इतना शार्प है कि वो भी चैट जीपीटी देख लेता है,
देखता है ना सर, और फिर बाद में
सर ये तो मेरे पास भी है। आगे की बात कीजिए आप।
हाँ, बाद में वो कहता है कि सर आप खुद तो शर्म करो पहले।
सर एक अमेरिकन यूनिवर्सिटी में फीस, एक अमेरिकन यूनिवर्सिटी में फीस वापस मांग ली बच्चों ने कि आप तो चैट जीपीटी से पढ़ा रहे हो सारा का सारा, ये तो हमारे पास भी है, यदि यही पढ़ा घर पे ही पढ़ लेंगे, हमारी फीस वापस दीजिए। स्ट्राइक हो गई वहां पे।
मैं वही आपसे कह रहा हूँ ना सर कि एक सही डायरेक्शन जो हमने उस दिन डिस्कस, शायद दूसरा या तीसरा दिन था, आप वीडियो खोल के देखिएगा सर, मतलब जो हमने डिस्कशन किया था वो यही था कि हम खुद क्यों नहीं उनको बताएं कि इसको यहाँ से यूज करो, और इस तरह से जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था अभी हमने कल जिस बारे में डिस्कशन किया कि हम किस तरह से अपनी रिसर्च के क्वेश्चंस को फ्रेम कर सकते हैं इसके यूज करके। तो हम वहां से स्टार्ट करें ना जहां पर ये खत्म होता है। आप देखिए कितनी बार घुटने टेक देता है, आपको खुद को पता है कि नहीं होता मेरे भाई साहब। तो वहां से हमारा ब्रेन स्टार्ट करेगा ना। और आपकी बात बिल्कुल सही है सर, थोड़े टाइम आप जैसे जो कंपनीज हैं जो अपना डेटा नहीं शेयर करना चाहती वो अपना डेटा नहीं देंगी, तो इसके पास में जो लिमिटेड सा रह जाएगा ये भी गूगल बन जाएगा थोड़े टाइम बाद। तो वो वाली चीज है जो कि मतलब दैट इज वो चिंता का विषय है, बिल्कुल है सर। लेकिन अगर हम अपने बच्चों को पहले से, मैं तो अपने बेटे को देता हूँ, मैंने कहा ये पकड़, ये इस तरह से चलता है, कर इसमें क्या कर सकता है, तो वो अपने कैलकुलेशंस करता है, अपने खुद की चीजें लगाता है कि अगर ये ऐसा है तो ये वैसा है तो ये कैसा होगा, तो अपने आप वो निकाल के, छोटा सा है अभी तो 7th में, पर वो करने की कोशिश करता है। तो ये चीजें हैं जो कि अगर हम थोड़ा सा इनको एक सही डायरेक्शन दें तो, क्योंकि एक शिक्षक का काम डायरेक्शन देने का होता है, हमारा काम केवल जो है वो उतार के उनको चिपकाने का नहीं है जो हम कर रहे हैं, जो गलत कर रहे हैं। एक शिक्षक का काम है डायरेक्शन देना, स्टूडेंट्स को एक सही राह दिखाना। वो तो हम कर ही नहीं रहे ना सर, हम तो सब्जेक्ट पढ़ा के आ जाते हैं क्लास में से।
सर चक्कर
आज हमारा कन्वोकेशन था सर
जी सर।
आज जी कन्वोकेशन से मैं आया वहां से, तो हमारे एक जगत गुरु एक है अपने क्या नाम है इनका, आचार्य जी कुछ थे, कुछ इस तरह का ऐसे कुछ था, तो उनको मानद उपाधि जो है वो डीलिट की प्रोवाइड करी विश्वविद्यालय ने, और बहुत पहले से ही खुद ही मतलब पद्म विभूषण, और काफी कल आपको न्यूज मिल जाएगी एक बार। तो उन्होंने भी हमारे को यही बोला, उन्होंने स्टेज से बैठकर यही बात बोली कि हम कर क्या रहे, आज हमारा जो 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 चीज हमारे को एज अ शिक्षक करनी चाहिए वो तो हम कर ही नहीं पा रहे हैं, तो हम कैसे एक अच्छे भविष्य का निर्माण कर पाएंगे। बड़ा अच्छा उन्होंने भाषण दिया। तो यही चीज है, तो हमारे को जो ऑप्टिमम रिसोर्सेज हैं जो हमारे पास में, उसके यूटिलाइजेशन को हमें स्टूडेंट्स तक एक्सटेंड करना पड़ेगा, और वहीं से ही हम आगे। मेरा तो यही कहना। और जितने भी सोर्सेज है, जितने भी आईटी और जितने भी मतलब तकनीकी और जितने भी मतलब जो है वो इनोवेशन जो हम कर सकते हैं वो हम करें, और वहीं से ही आगे उनको बढ़ाएं। ये मतलब मेरा सबमिशन है सर। हाँ गिरीश जी कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं, बताइए गिरीश। हाँ अनम्यूट कीजिए गिरीश जी, अनम्यूट कीजिए।
जी नमस्कार सर।
हाँ नमस्ते।
सर आज बहुत ही वंडरफुल सेशन रहा और सर ने भी जो बताया, एक्चुअल में मैं मास कम्युनिकेशन का भी स्टूडेंट रहा हूँ माखनलाल चतुर्वेदी से, तो मीडिया स्टडीज में बहुत इंटरेस्ट है और बाकी 4 स्ट्रीम्स में मास्टर्स किया है, एमबीए इंक्लूडिंग एमबीए इन मार्केटिंग। तो अभी सर इसमें आज एक मैं न्यूज़ पढ़ रहा था कि जिसमें चैट जीपीटी के रिगार्डिंग, ओपन एआई के रिगार्डिंग एक न्यूज़ थी कि गवर्नमेंट उसको मैंडेटरी कर रही है कि आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस जो सब्जेक्ट है उसको मैंडेटरी किया जा रहा है, ताकि जो है अगर आने वाले समय में जिनको ओपन एआई या एंड आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के बारे में नॉलेज नहीं है, तो दोज स्टूडेंट्स और पीपल आर ट्रीटेड लाइक एन इलिटरेट पर्सन। तो इसलिए गवर्नमेंट इस दिशा में काम कर रही है कि वो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस को एक मैंडेटरी सब्जेक्ट बनाने की दिशा में काम किया जा रहा है। अब एक तरफ तो सर ये 2 पहलू हो रहे हैं, एक पहलू ये है सर, और एक जो प्रोफेसर बनावत सर ने बताया, तो
दुनिया के 50-55 देशों ने स्कूल में मोबाइल बैन कर दिया। फिनलैंड, आप यदि मास कॉम के स्टूडेंट हैं तो मीडिया लिटरेसी का नाम सुना होगा आपने। फिनलैंड, जहां इतना प्रयोग हो रहा है मीडिया लिटरेसी को लेकर के, और वहां जब परफॉर्मेंस देखी गई स्टूडेंट्स की, तो जब परफॉर्मेंस में गिरावट हुई तो वहां पर मोबाइल बैन कर दिया गया। और एक नहीं, जनसत्ता की खबर थी, करीब 50-55 देशों में 6-8 महीने पहले, वो क्लिपिंग होगी मेरे पास। तो मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, ये हम सब शायद दिग्भ्रमित है क्या, हमारे ये पॉलिसी मेकर्स दुनिया में बंद कर रहे हैं, हमारे यहाँ स्कूल में चला रहे हैं, है ना?
अभी जी सर, अभी डेफिनेटली अभी सब्जेक्ट भी है सर, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस सीबीएसई बोर्ड में 9th-10th में सब्जेक्ट है आर्टिफिशियल।
मैंने कहा ना, पीछे नहीं जा सकते हमें। ये जब रेडियो आया था तब भी आलोचना हुई थी, जब सिनेमा आया तब भी आलोचना हुई, टीवी आया तो हम डिबेट बोलते थे, है ना, कि टेलीविजन ने युवाओं की अभिरुचियां भ्रष्ट कर दी। फिर एफएम आया, इस पर डिबेट होने लगी, जज बन के जाने लगे। तो ये तो नई टेक्नोलॉजी हमेशा होगी। जब 4th-5वीं क्लास में थे, विज्ञान वरदान है कि अभिशाप है, अब तो कोई नहीं बोलता ये, है ना। ये सारी बहस इधर सिमट के आ गई है, तो चलेगा ये तो।
सर इसी संदर्भ में ना, मैं आज मुझे कुछ एक इंफॉर्मेशन मिली है, मैं आपसे जरा अभी शेयर करता हूँ। मैं आपको अपना स्क्रीन शेयर कर रहा हूँ एक बार फिर से, आप देखिएगा कि क्या है और मतलब हम कहाँ जा रहे हैं, है ना। 1 मिनट लगेगा। ये एंटायर स्क्रीन शेयर कर रहा हूँ सर।
जी सर।
और ये खोल के मैं दिखा रहा हूँ आपको। ये देखिए सर, ये क्या है। ये स्वयं पोर्टल का एक नोटिस आया है जिसमें हमारे को कहा गया है कि कुछ, क्योंकि हम वी आर सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी, तो हमारे पास में EMMRC वगैरह सब है। अब आप इसमें देखिए सर, क्या कोर्सेज मांगे हैं इन्होंने, देख रहे हैं आप। AI tools for social science, AI applications in ethics and science, AI ethics in research, AI in legal research, AI ethics। अब आप देखिए इंट्रोडक्शन टू डेटा साइंसेज। अब आप देखिए 20 में से 5 कोर्स तो यही हो गए आपके आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के। साइबर सिक्योरिटी, AI एंड ड्रग डिस्कवरी, 1 2 3 4 5 6 कोर्सेज। अब आप बताइए, बाकी तो है ही है जो है।
ये मुझे लगता है वो एथिक्स वाला बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है।
नहीं वो है सर।
किसी व्यक्ति का दिमाग खराब हो गया और उसने ऐसे प्रोग्रामिंग कर दी, जैसे गोर गालियां देने लग गया था। एक गाली दोगे वो 10 गाली देगा आपको, है ना। चैट जीपीटी तो माफी मांग लेता है, ये हमारी पॉलिसी के खिलाफ है। चैट जीपीटी को आप जरा सा भी इधर उधर करेंगे तो वो क्षमा याचना कर लेता है। लेकिन कोई ऐसा व्यक्ति आ गया जिसका दिमाग खराब है और उसने ऐसी प्रोग्रामिंग कर दी, तो फिर मशीन आपस में लड़ेंगी, मुझे तो ये लगता है।
बिल्कुल, मतलब मैं कुल मिला के आपकी बात बिल्कुल सही है सर। मैं बताना ये चाह रहा था कि AI से हम पीछे अब नहीं जा सकते। आपने कहा ना, हम पिछले दरवाजे बंद करते हुए आगे जा सकते।
ये तो सही है।
आगे हमें को बड़ा केयरफुल रहना होगा, कहीं ऐसा ना हो ना कि वो ट्रांसफॉर्मर वाली फिल्म वाला सिनेरियो ना हो। खैर एनीवे सर, काफी समय हमने ले लिया और काफी पार्टिसिपेंट शायद जा भी चुके हैं, तो अपन इसको
तो सर बस एक सूचना और देता हूँ, अपनी एक पार्टिसिपेंट से, डॉक्टर प्रज्ञा कौशिक
जी,
वो हिसार से हैं और 5 दिन तक अपने साथ। वो इस सारे दौर में जितना स्ट्रेस हमारे पे बढ़ रहा है, तो कल योग डे है, तो हमारी जो वेबिनार सीरीज है उसकी 167th वेबिनार है, वो इसी पर है कि जो मिथ है योगा को लेकर के उसका निवारण करें, और योग की जो फिलोसॉफी है और कैसे स्ट्रेस फ्री लिविंग में वो वेबएक्स पे हम करते हैं। मैंने उस ग्रुप पे तो शेयर कर दिया है, इस ग्रुप पे कल उसका लिंक और शेयर कर दूंगा, तो जो भी इच्छुक हो वो उसको ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं। और लास्ट में कंक्लूडिंग रिमार्क्स के लिए आस्था सक्सेना, डॉक्टर आस्था सक्सेना, उनसे मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा।
हाँ, मतलब कुछ फीडबैक मुझे भी चाहिएगा, जैसे 5 दिन हो गए तो।
जी बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, मेरे ख्याल फीडबैक पढ़ा होगा इन्होंने, तो थोड़ा बहुत आप उसके पॉइंट्स बता दीजिए, बाकी अपन डिटेल शेयर कर लेंगे डॉक्टर साहब के साथ।
जी सर, जी सर। तो फीडबैक सारे दिन का काफी अच्छा आया है, और कल मैंने एक बहुत क्वेश्चन एक ऐड किया था। उस क्वेश्चन में मैंने हाईलाइट किया था कि हम लोग मतलब पार्टिसिपेंट्स आगे किस तरीके की वर्कशॉप्स चाह रहे हैं, तो मैं वो भी आपको एक बार ब्रीफ करती हूँ सर।
जी।
एक तो सारे फीडबैक्स में सर बहुत ज्यादा हाईलाइट हुआ है कि बहुत इंटरैक्टिव सेशंस हैं, और बहुत ज्यादा एंगेज किया है, और हैंड्स ऑन एक्सपीरियंस है ये सारे सेशंस में हमारे पास बहुत अच्छे से आया। और काफी लोगों ने हाईलाइट किया है कि दे वांट अ सेशन ऑन क्रिएटिंग अ क्वेश्चनर फॉर पीएचडी रिसर्च। मीडिया मेट्रिक्स में कुछ लोगों ने हाईलाइट किया दैट दे आर लुकिंग फॉर समथिंग। पीपल आल्सो वांट टू हैव सर्टेन काइंड ऑफ वर्कशॉप्स ऑन सीओ एंड पीओस, on digital humanism. And few of them also highlighted that how AI tools can be used in higher education, on prompt engineering, SPSS and R exclusively, and AI tools for research, media literacy. And few of them also highlighted that what are the ethical challenges one has to face while using AI in academics, research, writing, and presenting qualitative research. So overall, if I talk about the 4 days feedback, it is very nice and very, I mean, they have written all the positive things, and especially highlighted the hands-on experience.
सर कोई लाइव अगर कुछ बोलना चाहे तो प्लीज एक दो लोगों जो भी मतलब कुछ और बताना चाहें या बोलना चाहें, जो पार्टिसिपेंट्स।
ऐसे पार्टिसिपेंट्स अभी तक कुछ नहीं बोले 5 दिन में, यदि वो कुछ बोले
अरे
तो उनकी मेमोरीज भी हमारे वीडियो में रिकॉर्ड हो जाएंगी।
क्या बात, उनको प्रेफरेंस दिया जाए सर, मतलब
जी।
So Girish sir is raising his hand.
गिरीश सर तो रोज ही बोलते हैं पर गिरीश सर से भी सुनेंगे, जरूर सुनेंगे।
देख रहा हूँ अभी चैट बॉक्स में शैलजा मिनोचा, ये हमारी स्टूडेंट रही है होम साइंस में, वो
अच्छा,
कुछ कहना चाहे।
हाँ
शैलजा सुन रहे हो?
जी सर, जी सर।
कुछ बोलिए वीडियो ऑन करके। ये जयपुर के कॉलेज में होम साइंस पढ़ा रही है जी।
नमस्कार सर।
हाँ जी नमस्कार।
एक्चुअली मैं जयपुर से हूँ, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर इन भवानी निकेतन गर्ल्स कॉलेज। जर्नलिज्म से तो नहीं हूँ, होम साइंस से हूँ, और टीचिंग एक्सपीरियंस तो है पर रिसर्च एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है। और इस 5 दिन की जो वर्कशॉप रही है उसमें काफी कुछ मैंने सीखा। एआई टूल्स के बारे में सुनते थे, चैट जीपीटी थोड़ा बहुत यूज करते थे, बट द प्रॉम्प्ट्स जो डिटेल्स में सर ने बताई, और उसके अलावा जो टी टेस्ट और उसके बारे में जो डिटेल्स हमने जाना, दैट वाज रियली वेरी वेरी, आई मीन डीप रूटेडली हम कहेंगे कि समझ में आई काफी कुछ चीजें। So thank you so much on behalf of all the participants, I must say this, and I appreciate कि इस तरह की और अगर workshops अगर होती हैं तो हम जरूर अटेंड करेंगे।
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू।
डॉक्टर प्रज्ञा कौशिक, आप यदि मुझे सुन रही हो?
Yeah, so Neil ma'am, she has also raised her hand. I think she wants.
एक मिनट प्रज्ञा जी।
Good evening, sir. Good evening, all the participants. First of all, sir, thanks a lot for this learning session, especially for me, because though I am taking lectures on media literacy, digital safety, and cyber security, but regularly I am taking lectures on communication skills. So the research work is so far on hold. So today, now it is learning process for me. I learned a lot throughout 4 or 5 days I was with you. And simultaneously, I was practicing on ChatGPT also, and the results were wonderful, the way you were teaching. And after these sessions, I will practice again. And you were saying whether we can have one more class or not. Yes, definitely we should complete it. From my side, it is yes, but after tomorrow, because tomorrow everybody will be engaged in International Yoga Day. And I'm also going to take one session with Communication Today, on Communication Today platform. So definitely from my side, I would like to attend another session also, so that this process should be completed.
Yeah, this can be done because yes, we can have one session on ANOVA and
Sure. Thank you.
regression.
नील जी, नील कुलू जी।
नमस्ते सर। नमस्ते सर, मैं सबसे पहले तो संजीव सर की बहुत बहुत आभारी हूँ कि उनसे मेरी मुलाकात फकीर मोहन यूनिवर्सिटी में हुई, भारती वाला मैम के जरिए, जो मेरी गाइड रह चुकी है।
वाले सर उड़ीसा है ना?
जी सर, जी सर। और मनविंदर सर को तो मैं थैंक यू नहीं कहूँगी, लेकिन मैं बहुत बहुत थैंक यू कहूँगी कि वो ऐसा चीज बताए कि पता नहीं, मेरे लिए तो ये अभी भी अविश्वसनीय है कि चैट जीपीटी को हम कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं। जब मैंने अपनी कजन को कहा तो वो हंसने लगी, क्योंकि वो चैट जीपीटी एवे ही यूज कर लेती थी कि चलो हाँ कुछ होमवर्क करना है तो कर लिए। तब मैंने उसको डांट के कहा कि देखो, हमारे क्लास में सर ने हमें समझाया है that there is something called as prompt engineering, prompt command, तो you should also understand that। तो फिर वो कहने लगी अच्छा ठीक है, आप हमें बता दीजिएगा किसी दिन छुट्टी पे। तो हमने कहा ठीक है, आपका जो सर पीडीएफ फाइल है, मैंने कहा शेयर कर दूंगी।
नहीं, वो दे दीजिए, प्लस साथ में सेकंड डे का सेशन पूरा आप यूट्यूब से ले सकते हैं, सर के उस पे है ही है, वहां से आप दिखवा
जी। श्योर श्योर सर, श्योर। पहले तो नंबर से डर लगता था कि भाई रातों को नींद नहीं आती थी, डेटा कैलकुलेट करो। अब तो मुझे नहीं लगता है कि मुझे कोई डर है। नाउ आई कैन यूज इट। थैंक यू। और संजीव सर को मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी कि सर, इस तरह के एआई से रिलेटेड कोई अगर और भी वर्कशॉप हो तो हमको लगता है कि रेगुलर बेसिस पे करना चाहिए, क्योंकि एआई ही अभी फ्यूचर हो रहा है। तो थैंक यू वंस अगेन, थैंक यू ऑल ऑफ यू।
चलिए, और कौन? रचना गोस्वामी, तुम बोलोगे? रचना भी जयपुर से है, ये भी हमारी होम साइंस की स्टूडेंट रही है।
जी
जी, गुड इवनिंग सर।
हाँ जी,
नमस्कार
सर। बहुत बहुत थैंक यू कहना चाहूंगी मानविंदर सर को एंड भानावत सर को, क्योंकि भानावत सर के साथ तो बहुत पुराना एसोसिएशन रहा है। सर ने एमएससी में हमें मास मीडिया का पेपर भी पढ़ाया, उसके बाद काफी साल सर के साथ जुड़ाव रहा है। लेकिन इस बार ये जो मौका मिला एआई और रिसर्च पर वर्कशॉप अटेंड करने का, तो ये एक ऑल्दो मैं पीएचडी करे हुए मुझे 10 ईयर से ज़्यादा हो चुके हैं, बट अब विद द एआई एंड टेक्नोलॉजी कमिंग, जब मैंने करा था तब बहुत अलग था सिनेरियो, और आज के समय में बहुत अलग हो चुका है। बट अभी भी क्योंकि एकेडमिक्स में है और मैं भी कनोडिया कॉलेज में असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर हूँ, लेकिन अब भी ऐसा लगता है मुझे कि इसके चैलेंजेस अपने आप में बहुत है। जैसे कि अभी सर ने भी बताया कि हर चीज के साथ एक पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव दोनों बातें आती हैं, बट देखना ये है कि हम उसे बैलेंस कैसे करते हैं। एंड पावा सर ने इतने अच्छे से जो हमें 5 दिन अपनी नॉलेज हमारे साथ शेयर करी है, जो काफी चीजें नया कुछ सीखने को मिला। सो थैंक यू सो मच सर फॉर शेयरिंग योर नॉलेज, एंड इट वाज वेरी एनरिचिंग।
थैंक यू मैम। कनोडिया कॉलेज में तो एक अभी एफटीपी में मैंने एक इनॉग्रल सेशन भी किया था।
यस सर, यस सर। जी सर, अटेंड किया था। आपके सेशंस काफी होते रहते हैं कनोडिया कॉलेज में?
हाँ, नहीं काफी नहीं होते, वो मेरा शायद दूसरा या तीसरा था।
नहीं सर, मैंने तो मतलब मुझे 5 साल ही हुए हैं अभी कॉलेज में आए हुए, बट मैंने 5 इयर्स में आपके हर सेशन में आपका कोई ना कोई सेशन होता है।
हाँ, चलता रहता है, ठीक है। मैं भी खुद भी भूल जाता हूँ
सर वो ये तो आपकी जनरोसिटी है, बट
ऑन द ग्रेस ऑफ गॉड मैं तो कहूँगा ईश्वर करवाता है, उस सिर पे हाथ रख के वो करवा लेते हैं। मुझे खुद को नहीं पता होता मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ, सच बात है।
हाँ, बट स्टिल आपके हर सेशन में कुछ ना कुछ हमें बहुत अच्छा कुछ सीखने को मिलता ही है।
धन्यवाद, मेरे लिए प्रार्थना कीजिएगा, ऐसा ही रहे।
सुनील मुखर्जी रोहतक से हैं, वो भी हमारे मित्र हैं।
I would also like to say something.
Yeah, ma'am, please.
Ashil ji.
Sir, good evening, Sanjeev sir. Good evening, Pahwa sir. Thank you for being our teacher throughout this week. And now I would be, troubling you more. सर से मैं आपका
Most
मेल
welcome.
एड्रेस
Most welcome.
ये बहुत ये अभी जो मैम पीछे थी वो सही कह रही थी कि बहुत टाइम बाद हम लोगों ने एक प्रॉपर क्लास अटेंड करी और बहुत एप्रीहेंशन थे. ऐसा लगता था नहीं चैट जीपीटी नहीं यूज करना है, डेटा ऐसे लीक हो जाएगा. बट नाउ वी आर वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट एंड यू नो द systematic way of planning this FDP. Every session was so systematically planned that it was going in. We were understanding कि अच्छा इसके बाद ऐसे ये करना चाहिए, ऐसे होना चाहिए. कुछ भी haphazard या कुछ भी confused नहीं था. तो मैंने बहुत
मेरी यही एक कोशिश रही, उसमें मेरे 2 टॉपिक जरूर छूट गए. बट द थिंग वाज दैट कि वो मैं फिर से एक दिन और लेके करूंगा.
हम लोग हमेशा आई एम सो मच रेडी टू अटेंड ऑल योर सेशंस. एक ही नहीं, मैं तो जहाँ जब कभी भी आप कहीं पे भी क्लास ले
शील,
रहे हो.
एक रहस्य बताओ शील, एक रहस्य बताओ, पार्क में घूमते हुए कंसंट्रेशन कैसे बनाया?
सर
वो कंसंट्रेशन तो टूट गया इनका.
सर मेरा कल से आप, मैं अगर कैमरा उधर घुमाऊं तो यू विल नॉट बिलीव माय सन इज प्लेइंग फुटबॉल इन बोथ दीज रूम्स. और मैं उसे फ्रस्ट्रेट हो गई कि चुप हो जा, मेरी क्लास चल रही है. बट आई एम रियली थैंकफुल टू यू सर. थैंक यू वेरी मच. बहुत सारी चीजें थी जो क्लियर हुई. थैंक यू संजीव सर. थैंक यू सो मच.
थैंक यू. सुनीत मुखर्जी रोहतक से.
अरे वाह.
एमडी यूनिवर्सिटी में हैं आप, पब्लिक रिलेशन ऑफिसर भी रहे वहां, बड़े सीनियर टीचर हैं.
रेणुका जी भी हाथ खड़ा किए हुए हैं काफी समय से.
हाँ, उसके बाद रेणुका जी. सुनीत जी सुन रहे हैं आप? सुनीत मुखर्जी नाम तो दिख रहा है मुझे, लेकिन चलिए रेणुका जी.
प्रणाम.
अच्छा आ गए. हाँ सुनीत जी.
संजीव सर प्रणाम. सर मानविंदर पावा सर प्रणाम. बहुत अरसे पहले किताब पढ़ी थी सर्चिंग फॉर द मीनिंग ऑफ लाइफ विक्टर फ्रैंकल की, और इस 5 दिन में जाना कि सर्चिंग फॉर द मीनिंग ऑफ रिसर्च, एसेंस ऑफ रिसर्च. और एक तरह से लंबा समय तो शिक्षण कार्य में हो गया, लेकिन शोध में इस तरह से जो आपने बारीकियों के साथ ये रास्ता तय करवाया, और ये बिल्कुल काश मैं शिक्षक ना होता और आपका विद्यार्थी होता, और दोबारा से अब भी हूँ विद्यार्थी, क्योंकि ये 5 दिन आप जिस तरह से आपने जो गुरुत्व का जो चीज जोड़ी है, और इसीलिए गुरु को गुरु कहते हैं कि उनमें गुरुत्व होता है. वो गुरुत्व आपके ज्ञान से और आपके बहुत ही सहज संचार के कौशल से आपने सबको जोड़ा, और मुझे बहुत कुछ सीखने का मौका मिला. मैं जनसंपर्क में भी चैट जीपीटी का इस्तेमाल नहीं करता था, लेकिन बहुत सी जो आपने इडिएशन के लिए, आइडियाज के लिए दिया, बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है. एक बात मैं जरूर कहना चाहूंगा, जब आप बात चल रही थी सत्र की, तो आने वाले समय में यदि संजीव भानवत सर के नेतृत्व में एक रिसर्च कॉलोक्वियम विशेष रूप से शोधार्थियों के लिए, इसमें शिक्षक शामिल थे, और उनको दिक्कत ये आती है कि सर व्हाट आइडिया, ये जो इडिएशन है रिसर्च के टॉपिक को लेके, ये भी एक चुनौती है. इसमें आपके जो ये इनपुट्स हैं, जो आपने एक तो अभी बताओ चैट जीपीटी को किस तरह से इस्तेमाल करते हुए, वैसे भी किस तरह से हम ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग कर सकते हैं, इस पे आपका ज्ञान जो है हमें आलोकित करेगा. मैं तहे दिल से आभारी हूँ संजीव सर का, आपका, और ये पूरी टीम का. और मैं जिस तरह से देख रहा था, हमारे जो सहभागी इसमें थे, उन्होंने जिस तरह से इनपुट दिया, उनसे भी सीखने को मिला. आप सबको, क्योंकि ये जो एक शिक्षा का जो ये उत्सव है एक तरह का, हमने मनाया और मिलके मनाया, ये आप बहुत बहुत आभार, दिल से आभार.
चलिए, थैंक यू वेरी मच. रेणुका जी, आप भी कुछ कहना चाहते हैं?
Good evening, namaste, sirs. I really heartfelt thank you to Dr. Sanjeev Bhanawat for organizing this webinar, because it was really different in the way it was so interactive. Otherwise, most of these webinars are such passive, like everyone just logs in and then we get the certificates. एक दो जो भी है सुन लेते हैं, बाकी सारा का पता ही नहीं क्या होता है, क्या कौन क्या बोल रहा है. It was not like that. So it was highly interactive and a wonderful 5 days. And I had a lot of, fear of data, numbers, and this AI. And I, especially because I've taken up this PhD after a gap of 33 years. The last that I studied after PG was 33 years ago. Now I've just taken up this PhD. And I wish to thank Dr. Pahwa for your kind patience in such a engaging and interesting interaction all these days. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And in any case, I may be able to help you out in your cases or anything. Please tell me.
Thank you so much.
सर मैं 2 मिनट और लूंगा. हमारी पूरी टीम के बारे में भी आपको बता दूं. आप सब क्रेडिट मुझे दे रहे हैं, लेकिन उस टीम के सहयोग के बिना ये सब नहीं हो सकता था. कितने दिन से ये मेहनत कर रहे हैं. डॉक्टर आस्था सक्सेना जो हमारी मॉडरेटर हैं, ये जयपुर की ही एक यूनिवर्सिटी है, पूर्णिमा यूनिवर्सिटी. वहाँ इस समय एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर हेड के रूप में पढ़ा रही हैं, बल्कि डिपार्टमेंट शुरू कर रही है आप यहाँ. इसके पहले उन्होंने लंबे समय तक IIS यूनिवर्सिटी जयपुर की एक प्रेस्टिजियस यूनिवर्सिटी थी, वहाँ पढ़ाया और अभी पूर्णिमा यूनिवर्सिटी ज्वाइन किया है. इसके अलावा डॉक्टर रुचि गोस्वामी, ये भी जयपुर में ही थी IIS यूनिवर्सिटी में, और अभी कुछ दिन पहले इन्होंने प्रोफेसर के रूप में बॉम्बे में ज्वाइन किया है छत्रपति शिवाजी यूनिवर्सिटी में. और वहाँ भी एक तरह से वो जर्नलिज्म कोर्स की स्टार्टिंग है उनकी.
बहुत बढ़िया.
डॉक्टर बबीता शर्मा, ये पहले भी जयपुर में थी और आजकल बड़ौदा में है. ये वहाँ जो महाराजा शिवाजी महाराज क्या है, MS यूनिवर्सिटी बड़ौदा.
MS यूनिवर्सिटी बड़ौदा में तो अभी मैं थोड़े दिन पहले ही था सर.
जी,
महाराजा सयाजीराव यूनिवर्सिटी.
हाँ,
महाराजा सयाजीराव यूनिवर्सिटी में आई वाज देयर इन अ सिलेक्शन कमेटी. अभी मैं हाँ
I'm sure sir there were interviews
नहीं,
going
कॉमर्स
on.
के सिलेक्शन, आपके जो कैरियर एडवांसमेंट के CAS के जो इंटरव्यूज थे वो.
तो परिमल जी के समय गए थे या अभी वाले BC के समय गए आप?
नहीं, अभी वाले, अभी थोड़े दिन पहले की बात.
मैं परिमल जी के
Sir,
समय
अभी
गया
recently the
था.
interviews were going on, so
अभी तो
maybe sir might have went there.
जी, आई वाज देयर ओनली. मतलब मैंने आपने MS यूनिवर्सिटी का नाम लिया तो मैं तो बताया मैं वहीं पे.
हाँ सर,
हमारे रास्ते तो बंद हो गए गुजरात में. अब 62 के बाद वो बुलाते ही नहीं है, पता नहीं. एक ही यूनिवर्सिटी है,
बिल्कुल
आपको उम्र पूछती है बुलाने से पहले.
जी.
और इसके अलावा डॉक्टर दीपशिखा पाराशर हैं, ये पॉलिटिकल साइंस की हैं और IIS यूनिवर्सिटी में ही पढ़ा रही हैं. रमा चौधरी हैं, विजिटिंग फैकल्टी हैं और रिसर्च स्कॉलर हैं. तो ये पूरी टीम हमारे साथ जुड़ी हुई थी. डॉक्टर ऐश्वर्या माथुर, ये भी रिसर्च स्कॉलर नहीं, जर्नलिज्म में PhD किया और विजिटिंग फैकल्टी के रूप में अभी जुड़ी हुई है. और डॉक्टर अदिति पारीक, ये IIS यूनिवर्सिटी में है और इनको भी लंबा समय हो गया. अलग अलग जो जिम्मेदारियां इन सब ने निभाई और हर सेशन में आपने देखा है, कभी किसी ने कोऑर्डिनेट किया है, कभी किसी ने थैंक्स दिया है. तो पूरी टीम जो है वो इनकी पूरी तैयारियों के साथ एक तरह से जुड़ी रही. कोई आपके गूगल फॉर्म बना रहा है, कोई शेयर कर रहा है, इस तरह की सारी चीजें. तो ये पूरी टीम एक जिस तरह से बनी है. अभी पिछले महीने 2 दिन की हमने एक इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस भी की थी और साथ में राइटर्स रिजर्वर जो है उसके साथ मिलकर के. तो हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि ये जो टीम है इसी प्रकार काम करती रहेगी. और ये जो अपनी वर्कशॉप थी, इसमें देश के बहुत सारे स्टेट कवर हुए हैं. देखिए, हरियाणा से थे, कर्नाटक से थे, यूपी, राजस्थान, MP, वेस्ट बंगाल, उत्तराखंड और महाराष्ट्र और गुजरात और केरल, दिल्ली, उड़ीसा, तमिलनाडु, मणिपुर से मेरे ख्याल लीलावती जी हैं. अभी मुझे नाम दिखा था उनका, पता नहीं है कि नहीं है. इन्होंने हमारे यहाँ से रिफ्रेशर कोर्स किया था. यदि लीलावती जी हो तो वो भी कुछ कहना चाहें.
तनुश्री जी भी हाथ खड़ा किया है इन्होंने.
एक सेकंड सर. जम्मू कश्मीर, झारखंड, देखिए ये स्टेट्स हैं, करीब 12-13 स्टेट जो हैं वो इसमें कवर हुई हैं.
ऑलमोस्ट पैन इंडिया चला गया सर एक तरह से.
जी सर,
पैन इंडिया हो गया.
पैन इंडिया. और ज्यादा डिफरेंट डिसिप्लिन के भी थे, लेकिन मैक्सिमम पार्टिसिपेशन मास कॉम के टीचर्स का है, मार्केटिंग के हैं, होम साइंस के हैं और कुछ दूसरे डिसिप्लिन से भी कुछ टीचर्स जुड़े हैं. तो मुझे लगता है कि डिस्कशन, जैसा सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स ने कहा, कि उनको काफी उपयोगी लगा. ये ग्रुप जो है मैं उसकी डिटेल्स अभी शेयर करूंगा, अपन इसे कंटिन्यू रखेंगे. बिल्कुल, जो लोग बहुत व्यस्त हैं या नहीं जुड़ना चाहते हैं वो उनके ऊपर है, वो क्विट कर सकते हैं. बाकी कोशिश अपनी ये होगी कि अकादमिक यात्रा इसी प्रकार जाती रहे. बस रिक्वेस्ट यही है कि इसमें पॉलिटिकल, रिलीजियस और फॉरवर्डेड मैसेज आप न डालें. ये हम सभी टीचिंग से जुड़े हुए रिसर्च स्कॉलर हैं, तो क्या अच्छा है क्या बुरा है हम सब समझते हैं, ताकि ग्रुप की एक जो मर्यादा है वो बनी रहे. नहीं तो फिर लोग क्विट करना शुरू कर देंगे.
जी.
और ये भी रिक्वेस्ट है आपसे कि हमारा जो कम्युनिकेशन जुड़ेगा ग्रुप है उसे आप ज्वाइन करें, ताकि तुरंत आपको अपडेट्स मिल जाए. जैसे मैंने आपसे बताया कि प्रज्ञा जी और इन्हीं की एक कलीग हैं वहाँ हिसार में, निहारिका राजौरिया, वो असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर हैं योगा डिपार्टमेंट में. ये दोनों उस सेशन को लेंगे और ये 167th है. हमारा YouTube चैनल है, मुझे लगता है आपके बहुत सारे मित्रों ने ज्वाइन किया है, उसे सब्सक्राइब किया है। उसके माध्यम से भी ये छोटा सा यज्ञ है हमारा, आप सभी की हम आहुति चाहते हैं। आपके कमेंट्स और गाइडेंस के माध्यम से यात्रा अपनी आगे बढ़ती रहे। बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। तनु जी, आप कुछ कहना चाहती हैं? तनु जी, आप कह रहे तो हैंड रेस किया है शायद। नहीं,
अभी
तुलिका मैम ने हैंड रेस किया हुआ है सर।
किन्होंने?
तुलिका मैम।
तुलिका जी।
अच्छा, हाँ, तुलिका जी, ये ग्वालियर मध्य प्रदेश से हैं।
नमस्कार सर, मैं एमईटी विश्वविद्यालय में हूँ। और
वीडियो खोलें प्लीज।
सर वीडियो अभी रूम में लाइट बंद है, बच्चा सो रहा है।
अच्छा
तो जी सर, बट दिस इज जस्ट इन एप्रिसिएशन एंड थैंक यू नोट सर। और ये बहुत ही अच्छा सेशन था और बहुत दिनों बाद था, जैसे बाकी सभी लोगों ने अपनी बातें रखी, क्योंकि कोविड के टाइम से लेके अब तक ना बहुत सारी वर्कशॉप्स हम लोग अटेंड करते रहते हैं या हमारे यहाँ भी ऑर्गेनाइज होती रहती हैं, लेकिन इस तरीके का जो एंगेजमेंट था ना कि वो बहुत ही अलग लेवल का था। सो इट वाज फ्रॉम बेसिक टू एडवांस इन 5 days। तो थैंक यू सर आपको और संजीव सर को और उनकी टीम को, थैंक यू सो मच सर।
तुलिका जी कवियत भी बहुत अच्छी है साहब, इनकी पुस्तक भी आ चुकी है।
अरे वाह, क्या बात है, ग्रेट।
सब सर का सानिध्य और आशीर्वाद है सर, और कुछ भी नहीं।
बहुत बढ़िया।
जब मैं बेंगलोर में था, ये उस पुस्तक भेंट की थी इन्होंने।
ग्रेट ग्रेट।
इवन सर मैं फर्स्ट डे अटेंड नहीं कर पाई थी, मुझे बाद में मेरी एक कलीग ने ज्वाइन किया था, उन्होंने ये कहा कि अरे बहुत अच्छा है, तुमने नहीं किया। देन आई कॉल्ड संजीव सर की सर आज कर लूं दूसरे दिन, तो सर ने कहा हाँ बिल्कुल कर लो, और फिर मैं सेकंड डे से मैं इसका पार्ट हूँ सर।
आपने पहला वाक्य नहीं बोला उलाना देते हुए।
क्या सर?
सर आप ध्यान नहीं रखते हैं हमारा।
हाँ सर, वो तो मैंने कहा था। जी सर, जी सर, जी बहुत धन्यवाद सर, बहुत धन्यवाद।
गिरीश जी आप भी बोलिए ना, आपको रोक दिया था उस समय।
हाँ गिरीश जी बोलिए प्लीज।
बहुत बहुत सर नमस्कार और बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर इस कार्यक्रम का आयोजन करने के लिए सर, और बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला। और मैं करेंटली IIM काशीपुर में एकेडमिक एसोसिएट हूँ मार्केटिंग डिपार्टमेंट में, और मैंने 4 सब्जेक्ट में मास्टर्स किया है, इंक्लूडिंग मास कम्युनिकेशन, MBA एंड MCA एंड मास्टर्स इन HR मैनेजमेंट। और एक मेरा एक्सपीरियंस सबसे बेहतर ये रहा सर कि इससे पहले कई नेशनल इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंसेस मैंने अटेंड करी और कई जगह पेपर भी प्रेजेंट किया। करंटली मैं PhD परस्यू कर रहा हूँ ग्राफिक हेल यूनिवर्सिटी से। तो इस वर्कशॉप में एक जो सर ने बिल्कुल फाउंडेशन लेवल से जो पढ़ाया, मतलब बिल्कुल जैसे हम लोग क्लास में कैसे स्टूडेंट पढ़ते हैं वो फील आया, जो एक्चुअल में वर्चुअल क्लासेस में नहीं आता है। तो ये मतलब ये मुझे सबसे सच अ वेरी बिग डिफरेंस मुझे ये यहाँ पे मिला। इसमें आपका सर बहुत बड़ा रोल है, और जो आपका टीचिंग मेथोलॉजी है, सच है इन माय ओपिनियन यू आर सच अ वेरी ग्रेट एजुकेटर सर। तो ये सर एक बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस था। दूसरा सर इसमें एक पढ़ाने के साथ साथ एक जो इमोशनल अटैचमेंट हो गया है कि भाई प्रोफेसर बनावत सर आप हैं, तो एक जो इमोशनल अटैचमेंट हुआ आप लोग का पढ़ाते हुए, मतलब एक जो स्टूडेंट टीचर के बीच में जो रिलेशन होता है, तो एक वर्चुअली वो जनरेट हो रहा है। मुझे एक लग रहा है कि एक मतलब एक न्यू इंसाइट है सर, क्योंकि वर्चुअली एक क्योंकि जो पहले ट्रेडिशनल क्लासरूम होते थे तो वहां तो ये ठीक है कि स्टूडेंट रिलेशनशिप जनरेट होता था, तो स्टूडेंट एंड टीचर रिलेशनशिप, लेकिन इस वर्चुअल क्लासेस में वही जो अभी प्रीवियस कैंडिडेट्स ने भी बताया कि उतना लोग ऑनलाइन लॉग इन किया और उसके बाद फिर लॉग आउट हो गए उतना, लेकिन जो इतना एक इंटरेक्टिव सेशन बना, बहुत कुछ लर्निंग करने को मिला। और बहुत बहुत थैंक यू सो मच सर। आगे कोई भी ऐसी वर्कशॉप होती है तो वी विल आल्सो प्रमोट देम, और आगे आप लोग का आशीर्वाद रहे, भविष्य में आप लोग के सानिध्य में बने रहे सर।
बिल्कुल, और आइए सागर, जैसा आपने पहले भी बोला था। मोस्ट वेलकम।
वेलकम टू उत्तराखंड आल्सो सर।
जरूर जरूर
बोथ ऑफ यू सर, आपको भी सर, दोनों।
राइट सर,
थैंक यू।
हाँ साहब, कोई और लास्ट में नहीं तो बस वोट ऑफ थैंक्स।
एक मिनट में लेना चाहूंगा।
जी सर, जरूर जरूर।
बनावत साहब के सौजन्य से जो प्रोग्राम हुआ है, बनावत साहब को हम बहुत सारे फील्ड का मास्टर मानते हैं, पर ये जो AI इन रिसर्च इन्होंने पेश कर दी ना, तो ही विल बी रिमेम्बर्ड। एक नई लीग शुरू कर दी है सर, और पावा साहब ने जैसे इसको कर दिया ना, तो वो भी एक सोने पर सुहागा है। तो मैं बता रहा हूँ कि स्टैटिस्टिक्स की इतना ड्राई सब्जेक्ट है, और इतना लोग डरते हैं। और जब हम पढ़ते थे तो शायद स्टैटिस्टिक्स तो कोई लेता ही नहीं था, और फिर जो ले लेता था तो फिर वो पछताता था। तो इसलिए इतना इंटरेस्ट आपने डेवलप कर दिया। तो आई थिंक जो आज की डेट में जो टेक्नोलॉजी के जो टूल्स अवेलेबल हैं, और वो यूज तभी हो सकते हैं कि अगर आपकी फाउंडेशन स्ट्रांग है। क्योंकि पहले क्या था सर कि ये स्टैटिस्टिक्स एंड इकोनोमेट्रिक्स क्यों पॉपुलर नहीं थे? क्योंकि हमारे पास टूल्स नहीं थे। मेरे को याद है जब हम कैलकुलेटर करते थे तो कैलकुलेटर किसी से मांगना पड़ता था। और जैसे बनावट साहब शुरू में बोल रहे थे कि टेक्नोलॉजी शाप है या अभिशाप है, उन दिनों के अंदर कैलकुलेटर किसी से डिपार्टमेंट में लेटर लिख के इश्यू कराना पड़ता था कि ये मेरा रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट है तो मेरे को एक हफ्ते के लिए कैलकुलेटर दे दिया जाए, क्योंकि एलिजिबिलिटी नहीं थी कि हर आदमी के पास हो। और उससे पहले एक फैसिड मशीन होती थी जिसमें क्रैंक करके राउंड करके हम कैलकुलेशन करते। तो टेक्नोलॉजी हमारे को यहाँ ले आई, और कंप्यूटर के वजह से अब रिसर्च जो है फ्यूचर है। और सर ने जो सेशन लिया है ये खाली एआई रिसर्च तक लिमिट नहीं रखा है, सर ने इसको बियॉन्ड ले गए हैं। और कुछ चैलेंजेस और लिमिटेशन जो डाटा क्वालिटी के होते हैं, बायस एंड फेयरनेस के होते हैं, और इंटरप्रिटेशन और इंटरप्रेडिक्टेबिलिटी के होते हैं, इवन टू द एक्सटेंट एथिक्स इन रिसर्च, आई थिंक सारे सब्जेक्ट कवर हुए हैं। एंड बार बार और कोर्स में ज्वाइन करने की कोशिश करेंगे। और कल मैं कहीं पर बैठा हुआ था तो मैंने थोड़ा लेट आने के लिए उनसे रिक्वेस्ट करी कि अब मेरी 7 बजे क्लास है। ऐसे मेरे मुंह से निकल गया कि वो बनावट साहब की क्लास। तो उसने बोला कि सर हम तो सर के स्टूडेंट हैं, मीडिया के लोग थे, ठीक है, तो उन्होंने कहा अभी बात कर लेते हैं, सेशन लेट करा देंगे। मैं क्या वो वाली क्लास नहीं है, डोंट वरी। तो ये है आपका इन्फ्लुएंस इंडस्ट्री के अंदर।
बहुत बढ़िया,
थैंक यू वेरी मच। और हर आदमी ने बहुत इंजॉय करा है।
सर आपने कैलकुलेटर की बात की, एक समय था कैलकुलेटर एग्जामिनेशन हॉल में ले जाना प्रतिबंधित था।
हाँ, अब
छूट मिल गई है, ले जाइए कैलकुलेटर आप।
हाँ, आपने सही बोला, वो हमारे को टेबल अलाउड थी
जी,
स्टैटिस्टिकल टेबल ले जा सकते थे, साइंटिफिक कैलकुलेटर तो नहीं ले जा सकते आप। तो सही, ये वक्त चेंज हो गया सर।
अच्छा, हमारे साथ नंदवाना जी हैं, वो बॉम्बे के हैं और बहुत सीनियर प्रोफेशनल हैं पीआर और मीडिया के। यदि नंदवाना जी भी कुछ कहें उनका एक्सपीरियंस। नंदवाना जी, उन्होंने अभी चैट बॉक्स पे कमेंट किया है, तो मेरे ख्याल वो अभी बॉम्बे में एक कॉन्फ्रेंस में मेरी पहली मुलाकात हुई थी। और ऐसे ही रविंद्र ढल्लन जी, आप भी मास कॉम के ही टीचर हैं, आप भी कुछ कहना चाहें? और इसके बाद फिर एक बार मैं फिर आस्था को कहूंगा। हाँ
सर, आवाज आ रही सर?
बिल्कुल आ रही है
सर। बहुत बहुत थैंक यू मनविंदर सर को इतनी बढ़िया वर्कशॉप के लिए। तो एक पर्सनल टच देते हुए इन्होंने जो इंगेजमेंट जो की है सभी स्टूडेंट की, एक बिल्कुल क्लासरूम का माहौल लगा हमें। जिस तरह से क्लास के अंदर एक टीचर के साथ इंगेज हो जाते हैं, तो वो वाला रहा। और सर आपकी पूरी टीम को बहुत बहुत बधाई इस बहुत ही शानदार वर्कशॉप के लिए। थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू। अच्छा, मधुमती जी भी लिख रही हैं। ये मधुमिता आप वही है क्या? मधुमिता जी आप जो
मधुमिता ने सबसे ज्यादा पार्टिसिपेट किया है।
हाँ, नहीं, ये हमारे कम्युनिकेशन टुडे में भी आर्टिकल्स मेरे ख्याल भेजे हैं इन्होंने।
अच्छा,
वही मधुमती जी ना, या और कोई है?
मधुमिता, आर यू देयर? मधुमिता,
हाँ, अभी इन्होंने चैट बॉक्स में लिखा है।
हाँ हाँ, शी माइट बी, या लीव तो नहीं कर दिया?
नहीं है शायद। चलिए, हाँ आस्था जी, अब आप संभालिए आगे का।
सबसे पहले तो सर मैं आपको बहुत बहुत थैंक यू करना चाहूंगी कि आपने इतना टाइम दिया हम लोगों को। और इट वाज अ लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंस फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस आल्सो, द ऑर्गेनाइजिंग टीम। हमने बहुत कुछ सीखा। और सर मैं स्पेशली थैंक यू करना चाहूंगी भानवत सर का। मेरे को बहुत सारे लोग जो हैं वो सर के स्टूडेंट हैं, बट मुझे पर्सनली सर से पढ़ने का मौका नहीं मिला, बट सर के स्टूडेंट से पढ़ने का मौका मिला है। और अब मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि मैं सर के साथ एसोसिएटेड हूँ। हमने लास्ट मंथ कॉन्फ्रेंस कराई थी, और इन सारे चीजों के अंदर मुझे सर से हर दिन हर मिनट शायद कुछ सीखने को मिलता है, जितनी बार भी मैं उनसे बात करती हूँ। हमारी एक छोटी सी टीम है, और मैं चाहती हूँ कि मैं शायद सबको एक एक करके बुलाऊं और वो चीजें वो शेयर कर सकें, अगर हमारे पास इतना टाइम हो तो। Aditi ma'am, if you would like to share something before we go to the formal vote of thanks.
Namaskar, sir. Namaskar, Manvinder, sir. Namaskar, Bhanawat, sir, and all the participants from across the country. Really, sir, from tomorrow onwards हम बहुत ज़्यादा मिस करेंगे इस वर्कशॉप को, बिकॉज एक आदत हो गई थी ऐसी रोज हम क्लॉक में जैसे देखते रहते थे टाइम हो रहा है 6:30 हो रहे हैं 6:35 हो रहे हैं, वी हैव टू लॉग इन एंड वी हैव टू मैनेज एवरीथिंग. तो वो सारा हम रियली मिस करेंगे और हमने बहुत कुछ सीखा. सीरियसली हमने बहुत कुछ सीखा इन 5 डेज की इस वर्कशॉप से. एंड हम लोग कोशिश करेंगे कि आगे आने वाले सेशंस में भी सर के साथ और बहुत सारे इंटरैक्टिव सेशंस इस तरीके से हम लोग कर पाए. थैंक यू सो मच सर वंस अगेन.
अदिति मैम हमारी वाइस प्रेसिडेंट है राइटर्स रिजर्वॉयर इंडिया की और अभी इस वर्कशॉप की ऑर्गेनाइजिंग सेक्रेटरी है. ऐश्वर्या माथुर, ऐश्वर्या आर यू हियर?
Yes, ma'am.
If you would like
Namaskar,
to say
sir.
something.
Namaskar, Manvinder sir. Namaskar, Bhanawat sir. And good evening to all the participants. Really बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस रहा, बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला, नई नई चीजें हमें भी. और मैं तो सर की स्टूडेंट भी रही हूँ, तो सर से कनेक्टेड हूँ. हम लोग आगे और ऐसे इंटरेक्टिव सेशंस और करते रहें और ऐसे ही मिलते रहे. सच में सर हम आपको मिस जरूर करेंगे. थैंक यू.
Thank you. Thank you, Aishwarya ji.
Deepshika ma'am, would you like to share something?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Pava. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Bhanawat sir. Sir, बहुत अच्छा लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंस था. बहुत सारी नई चीजें लर्न करी. जैसे पावा सर ने बोला कि स्टैटिस्टिक्स से बहुत डर लगता था, बट बहुत सिंप्लीफाइड वे में आपने बताया सर.
Thank you.
Sir.
Rama, would you like to share something?
Namaskar to all. Thank you very much, sir, for your support, for your guidance. Also, thank you very much, sir, Bhanawat sir, to give such an opportunity so that we can learn and learn not only the academic things, not only about the softwares or apps or for AI, but also how to manage things. So, thank you very much, sir. Also, we will be every day. So, keep listening.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Rama. Babita, are you here?
Yes, I am there. सबने बोल दिया है कि सेशन कितना अच्छा था, कितना knowledgeable था. मैं सिर्फ एक चीज ऐड करना चाहती हूँ. So there's a friend of mine, Neelam, who is into events and like she's working with IPL for very long. And surprisingly, she also joined this workshop, and I have seen her every day logging and staying, for the whole session. So it was really amazing for me, कि ऐसी workshops करके हम not just the academic people, but we are helping others also, and this is such a relevant topic कि और जो hardcore industry में काम कर रहे हैं वो लोग भी ये workshop join करें. That was really amazing for me. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Babita. Yeah, and in the last, I would like to invite the convener of the workshop, Dr. Ruchi Goswami, to kindly deliver the formal vote of thanks.
Ma'am, unmute कीजिए.
Ruchi ma'am, are you here? Please unmute yourself.
Am I audible now, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay, sir. My sincere apologies, sir, for not just being there for last 4 days. But sir, आज मैं महसूस कर रही हूँ कि सर what मैंने क्या मिस किया है. और because
वीडियो ऑन करो.
वीडियो सर ऑन है.
सर वो एक्चुअली वॉइस है वो कहीं और से आ रहा है.
Okay, sir. So my deep, sincere apologies for not being there for last 4 days. I've relocated to Mumbai from Jaipur, and there were so many things: low network, high, heavy rainfall in Mumbai. सर जानते हैं. और सर बहुत कुछ मिस किया और आज का सेशन अटेंड करके ऐसा लग रहा है कि कितना कुछ मिस किया सर. और लिटरेचर की स्टूडेंट रही हूँ सर, मास कॉम भी पढ़ा रही हूँ सर. एक सिंपल सी बात करूंगी सर. हम लोग बोलते हैं हम लोग पर्सनिफाइड यूज करते हैं, प्री पर्सनिफाइड. मैं आज बोलूंगी सर रिसर्च ब्यूटिफाइड सर इन योर सेशन सर. आपने रिसर्च को ब्यूटिफाई कर दिया, पर्सनिफाई भी कर दिया सर. और definitely the academicians, the researchers, the supervisors, we all are supervisors guiding the students in so many areas, in various areas. Not only the mass media students, mass media teachers, but also the teachers from all the dimensions, all the verticals, maybe the MBA teachers, the होम साइंस टीचर्स, ऑल सारे टीचर्स को सर इस वर्कशॉप से जो फायदा मिलेगा. और दिस इज नॉट द एंड सर, we'll again plan a good workshop 2 days 3 days with you and there's a lot to be learned from you sir. बहुत कुछ सीखना है सर आपसे और बहुत कुछ चीजें रह गई हैं सर. बहुत सारे फीडबैक हमको बहुत अच्छे मिले सर. भानावत सर का जो सपोर्ट है सर, मैं मुंबई में नहीं हूँ एकदम और मैंने यहाँ पर छत्रपति शिवाजी से ज्वाइन किया है अभी सर. नए लोग सर, डे 1 की मैं आपको बात बताऊंगी. डे 1 पे मैं बैठी हूँ और 2-4 जने नए चेहरे मेरे सामने हैं सर. और बात चली कि मैं भानावत सर की स्टूडेंट हूँ सर. वो तीनों चारों ने बोलना क्या शुरू किया सर. मैंने सर को तुरंत फोन किया. मैंने कहा सर, मुझे लगा यहाँ से मुझे लोग मिल गए जो भानावत सर के स्टूडेंट्स है, भानावत सर को जानते हैं. तो सर ये देखिए इम्पैक्ट ऑफ अ गुरु अपन करेंगे कि एक गुरु का क्या सर एक इम्पैक्ट होता है, गुरु का कितना एक बड़ा दर्जा होता है सर. कि आप जहां जा रहे हैं, आप जहां भी जिस एरिया में जा रहे हैं, आपको उनके बारे में सुनने को मिल रहा है और उनका रिस्पेक्ट देखने को मिल रहा है. आई माई सिंसियर रिस्पेक्ट टू भानावत सर. माई रेवरेंस टू सर कि वी हैव लर्नड अ लॉट एंड लास्ट कॉन्फ्रेंस में हमने से बहुत कुछ सीखा और इस वर्कशॉप में भी बहुत कुछ सीखा सर. और एक फॉर्मल वोट ऑफ थैंक्स के लिए आई विद रिक्वेस्ट माई सेल्फ टू जस्ट फॉर अ वोट ऑफ थैंक्स, फॉर्मल वोट ऑफ थैंक्स सर. Rabindranath Tagore once said, "The highest education is that which does not merely give us information but makes our life in harmony with our existence." Namaskar and good evening to all who have joined from different corners of India. As we bring this intellectually rewarding journey to a close, I, Professor Ruchi Goswami from Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj University, Mumbai, and founder director of Reservoir Foundation India, stand before you filled with sincere gratitude, profound reflection, and immense pride. Over the past week, we haven't just explored artificial intelligence and research, but we have explored a new vision of knowledge itself, one that marries insight with innovation, intellect, and with intention. On behalf of Communication Today, Jaipur, and Writers Reservoir Foundation, I extend my heartfelt thanks to all those who made this workshop not just an event, but a movement towards the future of meaningful scholarship. Our deepest gratitude again to Professor Sanjeev Bhanawat sir, gurus of all gurus, our esteemed chief patron, a visionary in media academia, whose thought leadership and scholarly presence form the intellectual bedrock of this entire initiative. Our special thanks to Dr. Anil Mehta, our keynote speaker from Vanasiri Vidyapeeth, whose insightful discourse on involving convergence of AI, research and commerce was both timely and transformative. Research should be ethical and fair. This is what Pahwa sir said. With gratitude, we acknowledge Dr. Manvinder Singh Pahwa, our resource person from Hari Singh Gaur Central University, Sagar, whose grounded approach to data-driven methodologies brought clarity to the complexities of AI-enabled analysis. One important thing that research should be ethical and fair. We all should keep in mind that and should follow the ethical considerations also. Through this workshop, we attended not just to absorb data, but to discern meaning. For that, we thank our inspiring speakers, our inquisitive participants alike. A very special mention and heartfelt appreciation to our organizing secretaries, Dr. Asta Saxena from Purnima University, Jaipur, President Writers Reservoir Foundation India, Dr. Aditi Parikh, IIS University, and Vice President Writers Reservoir Foundation India for their tireless efforts, foresight, flawless coordination that made this ambitious journey a reality. Your work behind the scenes has truly reflected the soul of this workshop. I also thank Dr. Deepshikha Parishar from IIS Jaipur, Ms. Babita Sharma from Sayaji Rao University, Baroda, Ms. Rama Chaudhary from IIS Jaipur, Ms. Aishwarya Mathur from Ajmer for their untiring support, dedication, and help throughout the workshop. To all our moderators and technical facilitators, thank you for your energy, time, and steadfast support. Your presence ensured that every day's session was not only seamless, but also stimulating. And finally, to our diverse and dynamic participants from across India and abroad, thank you for showing up your questions, reflections with an open mind. Your active engagement was the heartbeat of this initiative. As we step beyond this workshop, may we continue to research with conscience, teach with purpose, and innovate with empathy. Let us not be merely consumers of technology, but contributors to more thoughtful, inclusive, and human-centered research culture. Thank you once again for being part of this beautiful confluence of minds and machines. Let this be not the end, but the beginning of a new way to think, question, and explore. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
रात के 10 बजे तक जो एनर्जी लेवल आपने दिया है, अब हमें लग रहा है कि हमने 4 दिन में क्या मिस करा है. थैंक यू.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Yes, sir.
चलिए, थैंक यू सर. मैं
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Right, sir. We sign up for the